From McMahon Stadium in Calgary, the Toronto Argonauts, unbeaten in 5 games, will find out how good they really are tonight against the Calgary Stampeders. It's the first weekend of fall. Feels like football weather here in the foothills of Alberta. Games beginning to feel more important too as we hit the home stretch on the road to the Grey Cup. Tonight, it's the Argos and Stamps beginning a home-and-home series. Good evening, I'm Mark Lee, and look who's back. Chris Walby, the big man, back after being on the injured list for about 6 weeks. Knee surgery, good to have you back. You ready to go?
Thank you, William. Mark Lee. Pleasure to be back.
Let's talk running and O-lines. I know you like to start with that. Joffrey Reynolds, now the CFL's leading running back in this league, going against an Argo defense that has been known to be soft against the run.
Well, first thing, there's a couple of things that just smack you between the eyes. One is, as we get to the last stretch of the season, you better have a running game, especially when the weather starts to change. 2, if you're Calgary and you're going against a tough Toronto defense against the pass, you better get Joffrey Reynolds involved early and often to open up the play action pass, get those linebackers up so you can throw the ball behind them. That's the only way. Now, you're looking at Joffrey Reynolds, 162 yards last week against a stingy Winnipeg defense. Now, you know what? Against Toronto, he has averaged over almost 7 yards a carry, so look for big things.
Quite a recipe for some big things from Joffrey Reynolds. How about the Argos' Ricky Williams, the NFL star coming back after breaking his arm 8 weeks ago?
Well, I looked at the history of Ricky Williams. I found it very interesting. 2004 did not play. 2005, he only started 3 games for the Miami Dolphins. He's had 5 starts with Toronto. So in 3 years, he's only got 8 games, if my math is correct. I mean, you're looking at a guy that's in probably good physical condition, but is he in football shape? I don't think so. And there's rumors that the Achilles slash on the back of his heel is not healed. So how much Ricky Williams will we get today? That is the question.
Williams back, Walby back. I know he's in good form already. How about your Rona game notes?
I haven't done this for a while. I've been on the couch, so let's take a look. And obviously, we're going to start with Toronto and diversify your assets. We want to spread the ball on, not only to Ricky Williams, but get the speedster, Tony the Tiger Miles involved, Arlen Bruce, get everybody involved in that offense. And on defense, you know what? D is for domination. They lead the league with 24 interceptions, 2 touchdowns against in the last 5 games, no touchdowns in the last 10 quarters. That's how you get it done. On the other side of the coin, Calgary offense, we talked about him already. Reynolds must rumble. Open up the play action pass. You got to get Joffrey involved in that offense. This is the worst run defense, the Argos. Look for big things from Joffrey today. On defense, hey, play the game in front of you. Don't get beat deep. Let them make the catch and come up and force them to punt. That's the way to play the game, and that's the way to win.
All right, big man, a gorgeous night for football here in Calgary after a very chilly and windy day yesterday. 17 degrees, the skies are clear, and hardly a hint of wind in the air. The Argos on that 5-game winning streak, all against East Division opponents. And coming off the bye week, this will be the litmus test for Pinball Clemens and his Argos to see how good they really are against this tough Stampeder football team. Stampeders hoping to move into a tie for first place in the West Division, at least temporarily tonight with BC. They're coming off their most dominant win of the season, 43-9 last week over Winnipeg. And they're pretty strong at home, a 6-1 record here in Calgary, and the Stamps on a 4-game winning streak coming into this one. Noel Prefontaine set to kick it off here at McMahon Stadium. The Argos won the coin toss and have deferred, and waiting for it for Calgary, Wes Cates and J.R. Ruffin, who's already brought back a kick for a touchdown this year. And it is Ruffin fumbling the football at the 10-yard line, picks it up now, galloping upfield, gets a block. Now he's surrounded, still beating some of the Argos, and finally brought down near the 35-yard line. A 65-yard kickoff from Prefontaine and a 24-yard return. Ray Fontaine with the tackle on special teams. Henry Burris is the number 2 rated passer in the CFL right now, behind Edmonton's Ricky Ray. 12 of his 19 touchdown passes this season have come in the last 6 games. His team has lost only once in the last 6 games. And with Burris the leading rushing quarterback in the league, he presents all kinds of trouble. They'll pitch out on first down to Joffrey Reynolds, and the Argos quickly swarm him for a gain of maybe 2 on the play.
Well, I think it's important, as we talked in the pregame, to get Joffrey Reynolds involved in the offense early. Bring those linebackers like Mike O'Shea and Ivan up to the line of scrimmage. Allow yourself the opportunity to throw behind him and take a look at the receivers. Rambo, Lewis, Copeland, Thurman. They can get it done deep, and a good offensive line, a Canadian offensive line with Tyler Robertson grading out the highest all year. Outstanding year for the right guard.
Early lineup change for Calgary. Ron Johnson, rookie, in for Nick Lewis, the leading Stampeder receiver. Here's Burris now scrambling and sliding on that 2nd and 8 situation as Michael Fletcher comes up to make the tackle for Toronto.
A nice job of getting up there as we take a look at the defense, and it all starts up front. Jonathan Brown leading that defense with 6 quarterback sacks. Him and England will have their work cut out against the elusive Burris today. The veteran, 36 years old, a couple days ago, Mike O'Shea in the middle. Fletcher, 8 tackles last week, getting stronger every week. And a great secondary, Khalil Carter and Jordan Younger playing the quarterback position.
A smothering Argo defense that has allowed just 2 offensive touchdowns during their 5-game winning streak. Keith Stokes is the lone man back to receive this punt from Burke Dales, the number 2 punter in the league behind Toronto's Prefontaine, and he has a beautiful spiral deep, and Stokes drops it, gets it on an Argo bounce up the hash marks midfield, and Randy Chevrier is the first man down, the long snapper for Calgary, to limit that return by Keith Stokes to just 7 yards. Damon Allen, pro football's all-time leading passer, extending that lead over Warren Moon with every completion now. Last game, though, Chris Walby, no touchdowns for the first time in that 5-game winning streak in that 11-9 ugly victory over the Hamilton Tiger Cats.
Well, no touchdown scored in that entire football game. I think a lot of distraction. Obviously, Damon Allen day. I'll look for him to rebound in a big way today.
Argo's open in a 2-back offense, and they'll go on the ground. And right away, Ricky Williams makes his first carry in 8 weeks, and it's a good one as Anthony makes the tackle.
Well, anybody that talks to Ricky Williams, you never get much out of him, but he is the key to this offense. We talk about Damon Allen, he can scramble. Ricky Williams got to get the ball. Saw a nice job on that first down. A receiving crew, Tony Miles, 3 touchdowns against the Stampeders last week. Got great separation speed, and an offensive line that welcomes back left tackle Bernard Williams. Just the last 2 weeks.
Gain of 6 on the carry by Williams. 2nd and 4, a fumble and a mix-up with Williams and the quarterback Damon Allen, who falls on the fumble. And it'll be a punt situation on that miscue on the 2nd offensive play of the game for the Argos.
Well, just, you know, we talked about the inconsistency, not getting together, not having that rhythm offensively. And this is just a case where the timing is not worked out. Ricky Williams is going to stutter and then come back underneath. He actually runs into the quarterback. And as a result, ball falls to the ground, but Damon Allen lucky to get it covered. You're going to talk to him on the sideline.
It looked like a high handoff into the shoulder pads of Ricky Williams, who may not see a lot of action tonight because of his fitness over the last 2 months, not seeing any action.
Well, we thought that, but I mean, he obviously carried the ball twice in that series, so who knows?
Prefontaine, the CFL's leading punter, with a line drive. And it's Marcus Howell at his own 40-yard line. Howell, the versatile receiver and returner, is tripped up just shy of the midfield stripe. You're watching the CFL on CBC. The CFL on CBC, brought to you by the all-new 2007 GMC Sierra, professional grade. By Rogers Wireless. Rogers brings you the latest MP3 phones. And by Future Shop, Canada's #1 destination for big screen TVs. Welcome back to McMahon Stadium in Calgary. A special hello tonight to our armed forces serving around the globe and to our American viewers looking in tonight in places like Seattle, Denver, especially in the Houston, Texas area on KTBU television, channel 55, watching a couple of famous Texan running backs, Joffrey Reynolds and Ricky Williams, tonight in the CFL. And it is Joffrey Reynolds. Look at him go, moving the pile, and he'll have what looks like a first down indeed, and a carry of 11 yards right up the right side of that offensive line, and that's what's so discouraging for a defense.
Well, we know, we talked about this, it's being hit on by the panel as well as us, the fact that the Argonaut defense is susceptible to the run. The fact is they do have good linebackers. They're going to have to start playing tighter to the line of scrimmage. But, I mean, Joffrey Reynolds can get it done. Look at 100-yard games this year against some pretty good defenses, Saskatchewan and Winnipeg.
He's averaged 114 yards on the ground in 4 games against Toronto. A pitch pack, and it's deep. Ball intended for Ron Johnson, and just too far as Henry Burris unloads a bomb to the back end of the end zone, going to the trick play on the second series.
Well, they run a little bit of a flea flicker. Just going to hand the ball off and then toss it back to Henry Burris. You see the linebacker Fletcher jumps all over. Now he goes deep. The thing that bothers me about the play is Ron Johnson stops running. He loses sight of the football. Now, I believe if he would have kept running full stride, he'd have run right underneath that football. It was a nice thrown ball by Burris. I think Ron Johnson just cut his route short.
Ron Johnson in the game for Nick Lewis. Johnson, the rookie out of Minnesota, yet to make a catch in his first CFL season. 2nd and 10, staggered count from Burris in the flats out of the backfield. And Reynolds can beat you with the pass too, but this time Fletcher comes up to seal, and it's a gain of just 4. A 3rd down situation for Calgary. Well, 3 short.
Nice job of Fletcher out in the open field. That's exactly what Calgary wanted to do. A little swing pass in a flat. Get it to Reynolds. He's going to release to the left side. Now it's one-on-one. There's Antonius Bonner, and there you see the man that energizes this defense, Michael Fletcher, coming over and putting a stop on him, bringing him up short.
Sandro DeAngelis will attempt this field goal. Now a timeout has been called by the Calgary kicker because they're missing a man, and
timeout.
Brett Ralph comes onto the field, the holder. Now that might be a problem when the holder's not on the field.
He was looking for that man. He can't bring out that automatic holder thing, that little plastic kit. You got to get somebody out there physically human that can hold it.
There he was standing, waiting to attempt the field goal, and Brett Ralph was standing on the sideline.
What was Brett Ralph thinking about, though?
Tell you what. Now he's ready to go, and it'll be just past the 48-yard line. DeAngelis' longest field goal of the year is 53 yards. He's good on 84% of his field goals this season for Calgary. From the left hash mark. Good pin, line drive. Good. Oh, it didn't look like it had the distance, but it just got over the uprights.
Claremont. On defense, number 23, Mark Washington. On special teams, Adam, safety ambassador for the War Amps. Adam lost his leg in a lawnmower accident. Now this guy knows what it means to play safe.
He sure knows his football, too.
Whatever game you play.
Play safe.
A message from the BC Lions, the CFL, and the War Amps.
DeAngelis was 5 for 5 last week against Winnipeg and picked up where he left off, Chris.
Well, his 43rd field goal of the season, as you said, just barely gets across the crossbar, falls in there for 3 points.
And he managed to get himself composed after, you know, that would be a little bit disconcerting when you're waiting to do a field goal and you don't have a holder.
Well, the interesting thing is, as he's back there, he's counting the front line to make sure all the guys in front are there, but then he notices the guy most important, the holder, is missing. MIA.
Unusual for Tom Higgins and his special teams, which have been so dominant in the Canadian Football League this year. Put a lot of emphasis on their special teams unit. DeAngelis to kick off. Stokes and Livingston back for Toronto. And it is Bashar Livingston at his 10-yard line. Going to the wide side, now cuts up midfield. Good blocks, tripped up. Oh, he had some momentum, and then Marcus Howell with a shoestring tackle to bring him down.
Marcus Howell, outstanding effort because he had the wall in front of him, and after he got tucked in behind those lead blockers, I believe Bashar Livingston would have been gone a long way.
That's why Tom Higgins really likes Marcus Howell. He's so versatile on plays like that, special teams tackles, he returns kicks, and of course he's a receiver.
Well, speed, that's what you want on your cover teams. They've got a couple good guys, and Howell and Wes Cates, who leads the team in special team tackles with 14.
The Argos break the huddle on first down. Just across their 25-yard line. Damon Allen in behind his center. Handing off again. It's Ricky Williams. And he's hit hard by Brian Clark as he crosses the line of scrimmage for a gain of 3. Let's check that Stampeder starting defense.
Well, that's a good one. They've done a nice job. And it starts up front. They're happy to have Raheem Abdullah back. Missed last week. A little bit of a knee strain. He's back in the lineup. Demetrius Maxey, the 13-year veteran on the other side. John Grace getting his second start after not playing for 4 straight weeks. And a secondary that really gets it done, and they got a headhunter in the middle. Trey Young, the safety, number 33. He'll punish you if you catch the ball in his area.
Extra defensive back in on this passing down. 2nd and 7. Allen away across the middle. And he has a completion. Arlen Bruce with his first catch of the football game. And it will be an Argo first down. The leading receiver and scorer touchdown-wise for Toronto.
Well, Arlen Bruce just runs this route exactly where it has to be. It's just in front of the safety. Just going to come back in. He's right in there, and as he gets the ball, you can see we just talked about Trey Young, the safety. He's sitting back there. He's got to respect the deep ball, but he comes up. Nice hit, but not before a first down.
Stampeder defense ranked last in the CFL against the pass. First down, Toronto. Allen rolling the pocket now, wants to shovel, fakes that, throws to the sidelines, and it's caught by Arlen Bruce with Andre Talbot also open near the sideline. And the Argos move the yardsticks again.
Well, it's just a nice job of rolling to the left, not sitting stationary, Damon Allen. Watch Ricky Williams. We know he can run the football, but let's watch this. He's the lead blocker. He comes up there, and look at him take the legs out from Brian Clark. Nice job to bring him down and give Damon Allen a better throwing lane.
Chris, believe it or not, this is the first game since the season opener that Damon Allen has had all his weapons, all his starting players, since the 3rd play of that first game when he broke the middle finger on his passing hand. The Argos have been plagued with injuries. And they go to the ground again, and Williams puts his head down and drives to the 50-yard line. John Grace makes the tackle, and Pinball Clemens has had upwards to 24 of his players injured this year, including his starting quarterback, all 3 of his running backs, some key players on defense like Michael Fletcher and Chuck Winters.
Well, 88 man games lost to injury. That's amazing. But I tell you what, if you could pick a time to be hurt, it's better to be in the beginning of the season than the end.
And Pinball's done a terrific job nursing this team, motivating this team through the tough times. Here comes the Calgary blitz. Allen has protection. Midfield crossing pattern too high for Arlen Bruce and incomplete.
Well, Krantz Clemens, who's back from a hamstring injury, number 26, 2nd game back. Nice job of getting in the hip pocket of Arlen Bruce. Look how he just stays with him. Now that's great speed because Bruce is no slouch when he gets in the open field, but that's right in the hip pocket, not allowing Bruce to come up with that catch.
It's a tough start to the season for Krantz Clemens, the former Renegade who had that hamstring injury in training camp and then lost his job to Cedric Williams. As you mentioned, his 2nd game back this year, and the Stampeders are glad to have him. Prefontaine angling this line drive to the far side. It bounces across the goal line. And Marcus Howell is there and is forced out of touch by John Williams. A 55-yard punt from Prefontaine for a single point.
That's okay. We'll go with some China.
Well, there you see Raheem Abdullah in the last play.
Yeah, you did a nice job.
When they were going after Toronto punt. Take a look at, there's Raheem Abdullah. Now watch this, Randy Srochansky, the center. Nobody touches Raheem Abdullah, number 53. He's free to the punter, Prefontaine. A little bit more speed. Get those hands up. You got a block.
First down, Stampeders in the shotgun. Play action. Backside, that's where Burris is looking. Now he gets the ball away, and it's complete to Elijah Thurman. And Jordan Younger knocks him out of bounds, very close to the first down marker. And it will be a first down.
Well, that really puts a lot of pressure on the secondary of the Argonauts when Henry Burris is backpedaling faster than the pursuit is getting to him, and it buys that extra time to allow Thurman to find an opening on the sideline and come back to that ball.
First down at the Stampeder 46-yard line. And a bunch formation now, another different formation on this drive. And the Stampeders, they'll hand off. Joffrey Reynolds at full stride, busting tackles, finally caught from behind by Michael O'Shea. And another Stampeder first down. This happened last week. There was one play in Winnipeg where 5 Winnipeg defenders couldn't bring him down.
Well, it's great because when they run the bunch, you pull the defenders of the Argonauts over to the right side of the field. They run Reynolds back to the weak side where it's being vacated. He busts through the initial hole and he's off to the races. Steve Barrato, the offensive coordinator, has done a nice job of watching what Toronto's defense tendencies are.
Pitch out, wide side this time, and Reynolds high-stepping his way, hurdles Michael Fletcher, and then the Argos gang tackle him. Jonathan Brown and Orlando Steinauer in to make the tackle to stop that gain at 5 yards for the running back who has averaged 114 yards a game in 4 previous games against this Toronto defense.
Well, they really can get after it. I mean, great hustle. Look at Jonathan Brown right there as he comes down the line, behind the line of scrimmage. Hustle takes him to the ball, brings him down. That's what you want out of your backside ends.
2nd and 5. Burris under pressure, gets away from England, sidearms the ball. It's too high. Kenyon Rambo was open in the flats on the wide side of the field, but good pressure from Eric England, who has only 1 sack this year, Chris, but he's always around the QB.
Well, Eric England, they talk about the fact is don't be fooled by statistics because you're still making your presence felt on the football field, and that's exactly what he does as he comes around to the inside, gets a free rush on Burris. He has to throw that ball away.
Another field goal try here for the Stampeders. This will be a 51-yard attempt, and the holder is ready to go this time. Brett Ralph on one knee, and Sandro DeAngelis from the right hash marks this time. And his longest is 53. This one from 51. Has it got enough? Yes. He splits the uprights again. 51 yards. His 2nd field goal of the game. Tom Higgins and Pinball Clemens, both very personable head coaches who both have really gotten involved with their players, gotten to know their players. Tom Higgins saying yesterday that he's decided he won't negotiate contracts anymore because he's found that's always hindered his relationship with players, especially when he was in Edmonton. Here's Keith Stokes now, down the near sidelines and knocked out of bounds. John Grace in his 2nd start after sitting for 4 weeks, and a big play on special teams to limit that return to 21 yards.
Well, do whatever you can to keep yourself on the roster. Khalid Abdullah, Raheem Abdullah's younger brother, was getting the start and doing a fine job with that linebacker position. So John Grace, last year's most outstanding defensive player, is fighting to keep his job.
That's hard to believe, and Tom Higgins was saying that last year he was beginning to slip, but he excelled within the Calgary defensive system. A big wake-up call at midseason this year. First down, Toronto. At the 35-yard line. Allen throwing to the flats. Ricky Williams again gets the nod, gets outside, and the Stampeder defense strings it out. Ryan Clark among 4 Stampeder tacklers in on the play.
Well, again, another way of getting the ball into Ricky Williams' hands. Just a little swing pass. You're going to flare him out to the wide side of the field. And now he busts it inside and decides he's got to bounce it out. And that's because great pursuit by the Stampeder defense forces to the outside. You see Ricky Williams' chart and how he's adapted to the game so far.
Well, some people thought he might run for 2,000. I even heard 4,000 yards this year coming to the CFL. Somebody in the States was saying that, but it's been a different story. And Joffrey Reynolds made the point just the other day, saying that the CFL takes some getting used to because it's played at a much faster pace. It's the wider field and so forth.
Well, the 20-second time clock versus 45 in the States. You can't substitute here. You can't just put your hand out and they'll send, a backup player in. I think that's huge. But I also think that, these guys, these prognosticators in the States who have no idea where Canada is anyway, they're too busy over there taking care of their own business. But I mean, they got to understand it's a great league.
So after the time count violation, 2nd and 13, and there's confusion again in the Argo backfield, and so Damon Allen will have to use his timeout and head to the sideline. Pinball was saying yesterday that coming off that tough Damon Allen Day egg that he laid 2 weeks ago in that 11-9 win over Hamilton, that, you know, having Ricky Williams back would be a good distraction for his quarterback.
Well, I think so, and I know that, you know, talking to some people and seeing Ricky or Damon Allen in the huddle, and then all of a sudden they show Brett Favre giving a nomination, congratulating to Damon Allen. He's actually watching this, and then he goes, "Oh, I got a game to play." I think there's so many distractions going on. I know he's honored to have it all, but he's glad it's over. Now let's get back to just playing some ball.
It was a huge distraction. Warren Moon there, brother Marcus, the whole family. And it took a toll as he threw 3 picks in the first half alone. 2nd and 13. Allen loading up, throwing to the wide side. It's complete to R.J. Soward. That's his first catch in 4 games. Only his 9th catch of the season. The Stampeders fill quickly. He'll be short of the first down.
Well, and Kobe Reinhardt, in the beginning of the year, Mark, we talked about this guy all the time because he plays a short side corner. It's the hot corner. They're going after him a lot. Haven't talked about him much in the past or lately, but here they go after him, and he does a nice job of keeping the receiver in front of him. Now watch the closing speed. He's just going to come over, wraps up R.J. Soward, secures the tackle, takes him out of bounds, forces a punting situation.
Yeah, a lot of traffic on that short side. Calgary's leading tackler as he gets his 55th of the season. Prefontaine to punt for Toronto. And Marcus Howell stands inside his 25-yard line. Prefontaine gets it away just in front of Mark Caliste looking for the block. Howell now all by himself and surrounded on punt cover by the Argos. He'll get across to the 32-yard line for a short return of just 11 on the play.
Well, Mark, the last punt we saw, Raheem Abdullah almost blocking. This time the punt team, the punt protection team, was so concerned about Raheem Abdullah that they jumped him and allowed Caliste to come in free and almost block that. Now they're all over here. Look at them. They're all over working here, and here comes the guy inside. 2 guys doing one job.
Savvy Prefontaine got it away nevertheless. First down, Calgary at their 32. Handoff, Joffrey Reynolds battering his way. Really no hole on the play, and he'll made 5 yards out of that one.
Well, interesting so far that the offensive philosophies of both clubs today is to establish the run. Rookie Williams, we did not expect to get this much action. He is. Joffrey Reynolds, we did expect him to get the ball this much, and he is delivering. So
5 carries.
Offensive lines both sides. Sorry, Mark, will be doing a good job.
Reynolds with 5 carries for 39 yards, averaging just under 8 yards a carry, and most of it has been tough sledding. 2nd and 5. 5 receiver set now. Johnson into the game for Calgary. Backside pass is short, intended for Elijah Thurman, and it hits the turf in front of the receiver. So Henry Burris struggling here early through the air after establishing the strong running attack of Joffrey Reynolds.
Well, he had the man, he had Thurman, but it looked like Thurman didn't see the football as he broke into the middle, and the combination of him not seeing it and the ball being a little underthrown resulted in an incompletion.
Burris and Thurman comparing notes there. Getting back on the same page. Burke Dales set to punt to Keith Stokes. Argos peel off, and it's a shank punt from Dales. Good bounce though. Past Stokes inside the 20 to the 15. Stokes now trying to make something out of this situation. A flag on the play, and Trey Young is downfield to make the tackle at the 18-yard line. An official shaken up on that play, and a 55-yard boot with the bounce, and this official is in serious difficulty. A lot of pain on the field. And it's Jim Koshman, the field judge, now up to one knee.
Toronto number 32, it's a 10-yard penalty. First down.
Here's where the official went down. Chuck Winters with the illegal block. putting the Argos in bad field position. But Jim Koshman now up and getting some attention from Pat Clayton, the trainer for the Stampeders.
Lower back, looks like they're trying to work it out a little bit. Make sure that he can continue.
Easy, put his head down too and came up with all the rubber in this artificial turf on his forehead.
Take that rubber home, make a tire for his kid's bike.
This is no laughing matter. Looks like they're looking at his ribs right now. Koshman says, I'm all right. He's not wearing any pads either, don't forget.
Well, they're warriors, those guys out there.
Oh, Jim Koshman is staying in the game.
He's ready to go. That's good to see.
The Argos, after the penalty to Winters for the illegal block, will start this series at their own 10-yard line. And the word from the sideline, Koshman has suffered bruised ribs as Ricky Williams tries to go off that right tackle. And Brian Clark is the first Stampeder to make the tackle, a 6-yard gain for Ricky Williams in his first action in 2 months since breaking his arm on July 22nd in Regina.
And if there's a question, how hard does Ricky Williams run? Watch as he lowers his shoulder down right here now. Sees it and runs through tackles. It's taken 3 to 4 defenders to bring him down, Mark.
And the Argos were more concerned about his Achilles heel after he suffered that 16-stitch cut a week after he broke his arm in the Argo locker room. 2nd and 5, flat pass. Ricky Williams is getting all kinds of work, and once again, Brian Clark is the linebacker who makes the tackle to hold Williams shy of the first down.
Well, it's a big task for Brian Clark, who is the leader of that Calgary defense. He's got to spy Ricky Williams. Ricky Williams flies out to the flat, gets the pass. Well, 48 for the Stampeders has got to be there, and he does. He gets over there and brings down the former Heisman winner, short of the first down.
Adam Rita, the Argo GM, who has taken over as the offensive coordinator after Kent Austin was fired. His offense now has been 2 and out 3 drives in a row. Prefontaine from his 5-yard line. They need a big kick here. And Marcus Howell has it at the 46. Beats the first man downfield. Gets a corridor. Gets outside. And is brought down by Ray Fontaine, the big special teams leader in tackles for the Argos. And that return by Howell just 17 yards after a 47-yard punt from Prefontaine.
And great field position for the Stampeder offense to start with inside Toronto side of the field.
Well, Stamps have had great field position early in this football game. They've had some great running plays from Reynolds. They've yet to ignite their passing game against an Argo pass defense that is the best in the CFL. Elijah Thurman, the lone man on the short side. That's where Burris looks. Quick shot to him, and he steps out of bounds, shy of the 40. And beating the Argos' best cornerback, Jordan Younger, for a gain of 6.
Well, they go quads to the field. Thurman to the short side, one-on-one coverage. He just breaks it off to the sideline. Nice pitch and catch. But what's going to happen is they're going to go deep on this. Watch him jump it, and it'll go down.
That's an example of Steve Parado using formations to try to make the Argo defense declare itself and make it more of a vanilla defense when you put 4 receivers to one side. It's a draw call to Joffrey Reynolds, and the Argos read that as Mike O'Shea made the tackle, and what looks like a loss on the play. That's the last play of the opening quarter here at McMahon Stadium in Calgary. 2 field goals for the Stampeders and a 6-1 lead. Welcome back to Football Night in Canada, the CFL on CBC on a gorgeous Saturday night here in the foothills. About to start the second quarter. We'll check the first quarter numbers, Chris.
Well, I think it's very interesting. The slow start that's being the mark. Surprising is that Calgary has had great field position in that first quarter and only accounted for 2 field goals, 6 points and long ones at that, with DeAngelis making a 48 and a 51-yard field goal.
Well, they're all from long range here tonight. This one from the 49-yard line on the right hash marks. Sandro DeAngelis looking for his 3rd consecutive field goal of the game. Hammers this one hard. It's got lots of boot, and it's good. DeAngelis with the long distance feeling tonight here at home. His 3rd straight field goal, 48, 51, and 49 yards out.
Well, his 45th field goal of the season. I mean, the guy is just oozing with confidence right now. And you know, head coach Tom Higgins is just saying, you know what, as long as we get across center field, we'll just throw the kid out there and he'll kick a field goal. He's automatic for 3 points.
You know, and Tom was saying yesterday that he had a heart-to-heart talk with DeAngelis before he signed the contract extension through to 2008. And he said, you know, why don't you get the NFL out of your mind right now? It's cutthroat football. Establish yourself here. You're just married. You know, get something rolling. And DeAngelis decided to do it.
Can I say hi to my mom? Hi, Mom. I love you. Happy birthday yesterday. I wish I would have been there, but the 52-yarder was for you. Love you.
Here's Damon Allen throwing deep for Andre Talbot. He's got it. Oh, turning back against double coverage. Trey Young right with him, along with J.R. Ruffin, but a flag on the play back near the line of scrimmage. Andre Talbot back in the lineup tonight after missing 4 games with an abdominal injury.
This flag is going to go against the Argonauts after they get the biggest play of the game.
We have illegal contact downfield. Toronto number 68, a lineman, was blocking ahead of the line of scrimmage. It's a 10-yard penalty. Repeat, first down.
You know, this is always a problem when they try to shovel and the linemen are going downfield to block, and they fake the shovel and throw the pass, and you've got linemen downfield.
And a lot of the times, Mark, they don't tell the lineman it's going to be a pass. They say, run it like it is going to be a shovel. We'll decide if we pull it or give it. And if we don't, you're downfield. They get a great pass and catch here. Andre Talbot, look at the concentration of twisting around and finding that football, as you say, in double coverage.
Well, the penalty wipes out a 52-yard pass and run to Talbot. 3-man rush. Allen throws it out of the backfield. Williams with a one-handed catch, and then he's thrown to the turf, and it's John Grace again. 5-yard gain as Grace makes the tackle, getting the start in place of the injured Khalid Abdullah.
Now everybody's saying, hey, how come we're throwing the ball to Ricky Williams every play? Well, the fact is the secondary and linebackers of the Stampeders are taking away the deep routes. Where's Tony Miles? Where's R.J. Sauer? Where's Arlen Bruce? They're all covered. That results in only one guy open, and that's the checkoff guy, and that's the back, Ricky Williams.
Well, the Defensive Player of the Year, benched this year, making his presence felt here tonight. Out of the backfield again, it's Ricky Williams. Williams is stuffed, can't get a block from his receiver at the far sideline, and he'll be close to the first down marker. Sorry, close to the original line of scrimmage, and it'll be 3rd down and 8.
Well, they're playing right into their game note, and that is play the game in front of you, and they're doing exactly that. They're keeping everything in. They're taking away the deep ball, forcing Damon Allen to use his outlet pass or his last resort, and that's Ricky Williams. He just comes across, he gets outside, tries to get a block by Palmer, can't get it. Another punting situation.
In your Rona game notes, you said that the Argos need to diversify their assets, and they're not really doing that here offensively early. But all Ricky Williams on the ground and through the air, and the Argos with but a point on the punt single from Prefontaine. Prefontaine, another low spiral, deep though to Marcus Howell at the 23-yard line. Howell showing some speed now, trying to get outside. Real Johnson in there with him, and he's ushered out of bounds by John Williams. A 49-yard punt, just a 6-yard return. You're watching the CFL on CBC from Calgary. The CFL on CBC, brought to you by Wendy's. Do classic hamburgers made hot and juicy fresh. Do Wendy's. Do it taste right. Argo linebacker Michael O'Shea is the ringleader of this Toronto defense, and he's wearing a mic tonight for the CBC.
I know the guy was on the ground, but you jogged right by him, gave him a chance to get back into it, right? Yeah. Burst by him. Baby! Hey, he's gonna give that ball up too. He's gonna give that ball up. Was he? Oh yeah. He's gonna give that ball up, fella.
Well, that's interesting. O'Shea anticipating a fumble from Joffrey Reynolds, who's fumbled 5 times this year. And a bullet pass intended for Jermaine Copeland, but a flag on the play. And the indication is interference in that Argo secondary. Chuck Winters was the defensive player in the vicinity.
Well, late flag thrown on the sideline. Both sides pointing in each other's direction, but they're checking with Mike O'Shea, the captain, which would indicate against Calgary.
Come on, boy. Come on, boy.
Legal interference. Calgary 62, downfield blocking. Penalty is declined. It becomes second down.
That's John Comiskey, the second offensive lineman charged with blocking downfield. Mike O'Shea, wearing the mic tonight, celebrated his 36th birthday this week and has a whole new training regimen, he was telling me yesterday, that has allowed him to extend his career, lifting less heavy weights, working more on speed. Track work with Desai Williams, the former Olympic sprinter in Toronto. Here's Burris throwing to the wide side, and Kenyon Rambo wide open in coverage by Khalil Carter, who is filling in at that wide side corner spot tonight for the injured Byron Parker.
Well, first time you need protection from your offensive line, because this play takes a long time to develop. But I really like 2 things. 1, the line's protection. 2, the way the receiver, Kenyon Rambo, comes back to the football. Good coverage by Carter, but he just comes back, makes the grab, puts himself between the defender.
Rambo, versatile, catching and running the football in this Calgary offense. There's the handoff. Joffrey Reynolds, no going there. And Mike Fletcher and Jonathan Brown making the tackle for Toronto. It was 2 years ago in October, right here at McMahon Stadium, when Joffrey Reynolds introduced himself to the Toronto Argonaut defense. A whopping 189 yards on the ground with Kahari Jones at quarterback. And it was Joffrey Reynolds running roughshod through the Argo defense. And that, coincidentally, is the last time Stampeders defeated the Toronto Argonauts in the last 2 years. Moving on the line of scrimmage, no flag there. And the pass is incomplete, thrown in behind the curl route run by Jermaine Copeland. So again, the frustrating passing start to this game for Henry Burris and the Stampeders.
Well, the Argonaut defense has done a real nice job of coming up and taking away the run by Reynolds, and this time they drop back and they get good coverage and they get good pressure up front from the front 3, and that forces Henry Burris to make a bad decision, because this ball could have very easily been picked off.
Bashar Livingston is the lone returner for the Argos. Burke-Dales with a high, deep punt, pushing Livingston to his 9-yard line. Bashar Livingston gets outside using his speed, that he's trapped at the 10. There's a flag down up near the 30. A 55-yard punt by Burke-Dales and just a 6-yard return by Livingston.
And what great hustle by Mark Calise to come all the way down and chase him back to the short side of the field and bring him down before he can get into the wall.
There's Michael Fletcher, caught for clipping on that last punt return by the Argos.
Well, once again, because of the penalty, and there he is right there. There's the infraction as we run the play. Just hits the defender in the back, brings him down.
And once again, the Argos will have poor field position to start this drive. Last series started at their own 10. Now they're at their own 5. Keeping in the backfield. The handoff is to Ricky Williams. Gets past John Grace. And a first down for the Argos, trying to dig their way out of poor field position using big Jeff Keeping as a blocker.
Well, blocker, but they also run a double tight. 2 tight ends. Stretch out the defense. Give a better area for Ricky, because he's going to run power You see the double tight. All it is straight up. It's just going to be straight up. Nothing fancy. Gets to the hole. Shakes off the tackle by John Grace. Picks up nice yardage.
Gain of 11 on the first down run by Ricky Williams. And they go right back to the running back. Off tackle, cuts upfield, finds some daylight, and gets to the 25-yard line. And a gain of 8 on first down.
Mark, I thought there was some interesting comments being made about Ricky Williams, and that is this time back after the break, he understands this game better than he first came up to the Canadian Football League. I see something in Ricky Williams that we haven't seen, and that is he is starting to cut back now. His eyes, great vision on that play to cut back and find the opening.
Running harder than he was talking yesterday when they asked him about his expectations. He said, I don't have any. Williams again, bouncing outside, being stretched, now cuts up, and it looks like he'll have the first down on that 2nd and 2 situation. But Ricky Williams was so nonchalant during the media scrum yesterday, saying, hey, I've done nothing for the last 2 months. I don't have any expectations. Boy, he's playing pretty well.
Well, he's a guy that doesn't like to reveal anything about it. He's very private, doesn't like to talk about himself, doesn't like to talk about how he works for the game. He says when the game comes, that's when I'll handle it. Whatever comes, comes. That's it. That's his attitude. It's just a come see, come saw attitude.
Very peaceful man. He's touched the football finally out of the game here, but 11 of the 15 offensive touches by Toronto's offense have been by Ricky Williams as Jeff Johnson spells him off, and a gain of about 3, maybe 4 yards on the play.
And the big thing is when you're running Ricky Williams, he is a big back, and he will wear down the Stampeder defense. Then when Damon Allen decides he wants to start putting the ball up in the air, these guys are going to be tired.
Well, it's interesting. Raheem Abdullah, who played against Ricky Williams in the NFL back in '99 and 2000 with Cleveland, said he doesn't think he's suited for the CFL, that he needs the big fullback blocking like we saw when they brought Jeff Keeping in and he ran for 11 yards. 2nd and 8. Stampeders blitzing. Here comes Abdullah. Allen beats the first man and the second, and Jeff Johnson gets the dump pass and the block. Trey Young wraps him up. Johnson fighting for the first down, and he'll be very close on a couple of tremendous second efforts by both Damon Allen and Jeff Johnson.
Well, the first thing that happens is Raheem Abdullah comes untouched, and when he comes untouched, he has the wrong angle. He goes to the inside. You got to go to the outside, force Damon back inside, then Damon does a great job of freezing the other defender with a fake pump fake. Guy leaves his feet, moves inside, completes the ball to Johnson. Smart football by Damon Allen.
It's close, and so Budstein has called for a measurement, and they'll be about a yard short of the first down. 3rd and 1 for the Argonauts. And now the decision for Adam Rita and Pinball Clemens. Do you go for it here with the ball on your own 37-yard line in a 9-1 football game?
And you're conversing right there with Charlie Carpenter, the offensive line coach, as well, taking his opinion into consideration. He feels this offensive line is blocking as well as it has during the winning streak, Mark. Only 7 quarterback sacks against, and they've averaged over 100 yards rushing per game.
Well, you just saw there, Michael Bishop has come into the football game, and that usually indicates they'll gamble on 3rd down. Bishop has been used with his strength and speed. Quarterback sneaks, and it's a 3rd and 1 gamble here for the Argos. And they draw the Stampeder defense offside as the flag hits the turf.
Great job by Michael Bishop to give the hard count first. Go! He just runs up to the line of scrimmage, yells it, the 2 interior defensive linemen jump. That's how you get the first down the easy way.
Calgary 92. It's a 5-yard penalty, becomes first down.
Sheldon DePastic is given the infraction, but that whole defensive line crashed down.
Well, a lot of times the quarterback on that 3rd down gamble will just go. It's first sound. He yells out go. Defenders took a chance, and DePastic and company thought they could beat it. They were offside. First down Argonauts.
Jeff Johnson stays in the game, spelling Ricky Williams. He gets the handoff up the middle, gets as far as the 45-yard line. Gain of maybe 3 on first down.
Well, they're doing a nice job of getting Ricky Williams and Jeff Johnson, who's in place of Ricky Williams, involved in a football game. I'm a little curious of where Tony Miles is. Tony Miles, who's had outstanding games against the Stampeders last year with 3 touchdowns in 2 games, hasn't even had a ball thrown in his direction this afternoon.
Jeff Johnson was married last weekend and was allowed to miss Monday's practice by the Argos. Said he was a basket case and has deferred his honeymoon until after the season. Here's Allen throwing now on second. He'll run, crossing the line of scrimmage, and he has a first down. At 43 years of age, still able to elude players who could be his own sons.
Well, a quarterback who has 93 rushing touchdowns and just short of 12,000 rushing yards. Hasn't taken off with the ball much this season, but look at that little fake to the inside and picks up a first down. Doesn't run as often, but when he does, it's usually effective.
A gain of 9 yards on the run by Damon Allen. Has more than 12,000 yards rushing. The leading rusher all time among quarterbacks in Canadian football. Handing off to Jeff Johnson. And Jeff Johnson high steps his way close to another first down as the Argos continue to succeed along the ground. This drive starting at their own 5.
That'll bring up a 2nd and short. And just basically what's called a stretch play, and that means that the offensive line will run to a certain side of the field and the back will read the opening. If it's to the back, to the lineman, he'll stay with it. If he can cut back, he'll cut back. That time he cut back and picked up 9 yards.
2nd and 1. Michael Bishop back in at quarterback on short yardage. He'll go off the right tackle and have the first down for Toronto.
Well, Michael Bishop doing what he has to do to pick up the first down and keep this drive alive. A nice drive by the Argo offense. Doing it pretty much all on the ground. 9 plays so far in this drive.
And Chris, this is the new complexion of the Argo offense since Adam Rita took over from Ken Austin. Much more emphasis on the run. A 2-back offense instead of the single-back offense. And it's worked for them. Hasn't been prolific in terms of scoring, but they're winning football games. Ricky Williams back into the game. He takes the handoff, tries to get outside, and he's hit immediately as Kobe Reinhardt comes up from his cornerback position, and the Stampeders' leading tackler makes another.
Well, there's a different play. It's a counter play. They're going to pull the backside tackle, Bernard Williams. And as he comes, you see him running across right there. Ricky Williams is going to try and get in his hip pocket now. Bernard does a nice job of coming back and cutting off the pursuit, but as you say, Kobe Reinhardt from the front side, nice job of coming up and bringing him down.
Well, Chris, you know Adam Rita is doing a good job setting up the play action. You know that's got to be coming, because in the preseason when Allen played with Ricky Williams, the Ticats bit on that play action all night. Here's Allen to throw under pressure, gets it away, incomplete. It bounced at the feet of Ricky Williams, but the pressure was enormous there from that Stampeder front.
Well, great coverage downfield. I mean, you can't hold on to the football this long, and Damon Allen does not want to hold on. As we take a look at the pressure, you see Raheem Abdullah working inside. Kind of a busted assignment on that left side of the offensive line because nobody slid out to pick him up, and you can't let that guy go free.
Abdullah running right past Bernard Williams, who's back in the lineup after missing 3 weeks.
Another long field goal attempt upcoming.
We've seen 3 long field goal attempts completed by Calgary's Sandro DeAngelis. Now, Noel Prefontaine will attempt another long one from 51 yards out. His longest is 52. Here's the kick. It's wide right. J.R. Ruffin takes the ball out of the Stampeder end zone, gets a block, gets outside, downfield, and Prefontaine to the rescue with an open field tackle with all kinds of daylight down the far sideline for the dangerous J.R. Ruffin. Noel Prefontaine missing on a 51-yard field goal attempt, then a nice tackle on special teams.
Well, he's just going to try, and he looks like he just goes a little wide. He's just going to nonchalantly walk up and then realize he gets the corner. The returner's got him roughing there. He's got a nice angle here by Prefontaine to bring down the returner.
What a waste for the Argos. They had 12 plays, 61 yards in that drive, used up 7 minutes and 40 seconds, and came away with no points. Play action now. It's complete to Nick Lewis, and Lewis, skipping down the near sidelines, will have a Toronto, or rather Calgary, first down on his first catch of the game.
Well, you're wondering where Nick Lewis was, where Jermaine Copeland is. You know, it was only a matter of time before Henry Burris was going to try and find number 82. Finds him on the sideline. He's got zone coverage, playing deep. Brings back inside. Picks up some nice yardage.
Lewis rotating with the rookie Ron Johnson in this football game. A 21-yard catch and run on that last play. On the ground this time. Joffrey Reynolds, big hole. And Kevin Iben makes the tackle. Iben back in the lineup after missing last game with an injury. Gain of 7.
Well, I've been impressed by both offenses, the way they're running the football. They are running hard. Joffrey Reynolds and Ricky Williams are punishing the defenders. You know, Kevin Iben's got that shoulder. I don't know how many more hits he can take like that.
Again, 4 receivers to the wide side for Calgary. Elijah Thurman on the short side. Burris rolling right away from Eric England. Now he throws to the sideline, and it's incomplete. Kenyon Brambo was the intended receiver. Khalil Carter was right there in good coverage.
Well, good speed, though, also by Jonathan Brown and Michael Fletcher, because it looked like that Henry Burris might have got that corner, and he could have turned it up, ran with it, picked up a first down.
So another punt situation.
Just going to come from the backside. Look at the hustle by England and Brown. There you see Michael Fletcher forced Henry Burris to throw that ball.
Once again, this potent Calgary passing offense struggling against a smothering pass defense from Toronto as Bashar Livingston stands at his 10-yard line to await this punt from Burke Dales. A high punt, good hang time. Wes Cates downfield. And now reversing his field, Livingston looking for blocks, surrounded, and Brian Park is first to get him. A 40-yard punt, a 5-yard return, and a late flag on the play as tempers begin to boil over on the football field. We'll sort it all out when we come back to Calgary. Penalty is unnecessary roughness against Toronto's Mike O'Shea. And that means really bad field position again to start this Argo drive. At their own 9-yard line. Randy Chevrier limped off the field for Calgary after going down on that punt cover. Argos conservatively on the ground to Ricky Williams diving for the 15-yard line. 1:29 to go until halftime. Canadian Tire at the half. Elliott and the panel. Frerzi, Millie, and special guest Darren Flutie. We'll analyze this exciting first half of football, and then we'll take you back in the day with former Stampeder running back Lavelle Coleman coming up on Canadian Tire at the half. 2nd and 4 after the 6-yard gain by Ricky Williams. 6 receiver set for Toronto. A look into Tony Miles, and he should have had it. Incomplete. Argos have to punt.
Tony Miles, who had coverage by Krantz Clemens, broke it into the middle of the football field. Ball was delivered right there, a little slant pattern. Just could not squeeze the ball. Nice decision. It's right there. It's right through the hands. That's one that Tony Miles would like back. Usually they would have gave them a first down, Mark, and now they forced the punt situation.
Yeah, with 1:09 to go, and the Stampeders now looking at good field position change here in their favor. Prefontaine standing at his goal line. Marcus Howell back for the Stampeders. Prefontaine running the clock. No, it'll go on the kick. Again, he gets a beauty away to the 46. Howell across midfield. A flag on the play. Gets outside, trying to get past John Williams. Another flag. So 2 flags down as the returner Howell is forced out of bounds. 49-yard punt from Prefontaine. A 23-yard return. And this might well be coming back.
Well, it'll go against the Stampeder return team. And they gate that good return by Marcus Howell. The officials conferring. were 2 flags dropped, so that might be the thing they're talking about.
Holding, Calgary 45. That penalty is declined. Holding, Calgary 34. Objectionable conduct, Toronto bench. Penalties are applied and balanced at the point possession gain. First down, Calgary.
Mark, once again, a penalty. An objectionable conduct from the bench. You see there's a holding, but the one on Fletcher's not bad. He's got him inside, stretching the jersey, but I don't see the hands around the back. But
Walter Spencer and Gilles Leslie are the 2 Stamps given the penalty, and Pinball still looking for an explanation for the call against the Argo bench, coming shortly after the unnecessary roughness penalty taken by O'Shea. Quarterback draw. Burris has already crossed the line of scrimmage. He faked the pass anyway to buy some time, and Kenny Wheaton escorts him out of bounds.
Well, predetermined play just by the formation of the defense. Henry Burris has the option of throwing the ball, rolling to the right, or just taking off with it on a quarterback keeper. This time he just pulls the ball down and picks up 5 yards.
Argo defense has been suffocating again here tonight as Pinball continues to make his case. 2nd and 5. The ball's away and complete to Nick Lewis at full hop, and then he hurdles the Argo defender. That was Khalil Carter, and he has a fashionable first down for the Stampeders with 43 seconds to go to the half.
Well, anytime you get the ball in the hands of your playmakers, good things happen, and he's just going to run a crossing route. Gets a little separation from Michael Fletcher, who's playing with the knee brace, but look at him hurdle the first attacker. Now, when we did the Saskatchewan game, we saw him hurdle the defender for a touchdown, so he likes that play.
15-yard gain for Nick Lewis, who had 118 last week against Winnipeg. Burris rolling away from pressure, throwing wide side, and he throws it away. Jermaine Copeland was the intended receiver, and Burris slow to get up.
Well, Burris is looking right at the official saying, Mike O'Shea hit me late. He was looking right at the official, says, what? You didn't throw the flag? He can't believe that. Mike O'Shea might have got away from one with that one. We'll take another look. There's Mike O'Shea right there. He's going to come around the corner. You're going to see him come late as he flushes Burris out. Now, there he is. Oh, that's a late hit. That's almost a helmet-to-helmet as well, but no call, no flag.
Burris incredulous as he pleads his case to Bud Steen. 2nd down, 10 to go. 36 seconds on the clock. And there's movement on the Toronto side as Jonathan Brown comes across, flags down.
Yeah, Jonathan Brown trying to anticipate the snap count, get a jump on.
Offside, Toronto 97, 5-yard penalty, still 2nd down.
Definitely within Sandro DeAngelis' field goal range as Burris takes the penalty.
He's just trying to get a jump on Alexander Gauthier, this left tackle. I think Henry Burris doing a nice job of mixing up the snap count, not always going on the same count.
He was putting his helmet back together there after the hit by O'Shea.
Oh, he got rocked on that one.
2nd and 5. Calgary. Burris with lots of time, and he's got a completion at the near sideline to Elijah Thurman, and another Calgary first down with 32 seconds on the clock.
Well, they're only going to rush 3. The Argonauts send their 3 defensive linemen. Henry Burris has all day to throw this. He's just going to sit back there. Nice throwing lane. Allows Thurman to come back to the ball, drive the defender off, and then come back to the football, pick up a first down. Pitch and catch.
Beautiful execution by Burris, stepping up and firing that bullet 11 yards and the first down. Bunch formation this time for the Stampeders to the wide side. They'll go on the ground. Reynolds bounces that way, and he's tackled. Antonius Bonner moving up quickly to make the tackle for Toronto. Really depend on their linebackers to cover, make the big tackles, and pressure the quarterback.
Well, interesting as well was Orlando Steinhauer. The safety is up tight to the line of scrimmage as well. Now, we've seen that formation twice with the bunch to the wide side, and they'll run opposite with Reynolds. This time the Argos stuffed it.
Veteran savvy to read that play and come up tight and hold Calgary to a gain of 1. 2nd and 9. Burris in the pocket, throws the ball short, and looking for Elijah Thurman coming back to the ball, but again, there was lots of pressure on the quarterback.
Well, this little throw is exactly a result of the pressure, because Henry Burris threw this way before he wanted to. He had the receiver, again looking for Thurman in the middle. Thurman had his man beat. The pressure got to Burris. He threw it quick and into the ground.
And so typical of this Argo defense to begin to tighten up when they get close to their own end zone. And once again, they stop Calgary from scoring a touchdown. And Sandro DeAngelis will attempt his 4th field goal of this first half from the 35-yard line. The kick is up and good. It'll be a 34-yard field goal officially now as they correct that. And the 4th consecutive field goal of the game for DeAngelis.
But once again, the Stampeder offense moves the football and stalls. But as you say, you got to give credit to the Argo defense, because they do a nice job of coming up with big plays when they have to, forcing DeAngelis to kick the field goals. And you know what? Unfortunately for the Argonauts, they're going against probably the hottest kicker this side, maybe Paul McCallum, as far as success rate.
Pinball Clemens with some words to Damon Allen, just 7 seconds on the clock. But talking about the Stampeder offense stalling in the red zone, if there's been one flaw in the offense this year, it has been their inability to score in the scoring zone. Last week against Winnipeg, even though they blew them out, they had 3 chances inside the 20, and each time they had to settle for a field goal.
Well, they've been in the red zone inside the 20 44 times coming into this ball game, and only 20 touchdowns.
Well, Chris, 7 seconds on the clock, and the strong arm quarterback, Michael Bishop, is in, and so is Bashar Livingston on the short side, looking for one big bomb, and they load it up. Here it goes. Livingston running downfield, and the Stampeders in a prevent defense have an interception. Kobe Reinhardt with his 6th interception of the season on the last play of the first half. Argos throwing a Hail Mary, why not? Last play. And it's intercepted by the ball hawk, Kobe Reinhardt. Let's go to the sidelines now, and here's Steve with Tom Higgins.
Thank you, Mark. Tom, before this game began, would you have predicted that all your offensive scoring would have come from your place kicker?
No, you wouldn't think so, but that's okay. At least we're getting some points on the board, and now we just got to regroup and have a good second half, but it's going to come down to scoring some touchdowns here.
The way the Argos have been using Ricky Williams in that first half, would you expect to see some play action in the second half?
Oh, I'm sure they can add to it, but they did a masterful job of mixing them on in, and they're actually moving the ball not too badly, but we're holding and bending but not breaking right now.
Thank you very much, Tom.
You're welcome. My pleasure.
Good luck in the second half. Guys?
Steve, Tom Higgins taking a page from the Argo playbook, the bend, don't break defense, the story of this first half on both sides of the football.
Where did I put this? Whoa! Gus? Gus, how long have you been here?
Since the last time we jammed. Where have you been?
Put your garage in order with the Mastercraft Garage Organization System. A quick and easy installation converts unused space into valuable storage. No matter what you're putting away, it's customizable with a 10-year warranty. Organization starts at Canadian Tire.
1, 2, 3, 4. Sid, is that you?
Canadian Tire at the half. Autumn starts at Canadian Tire. Now, here's Elliot Friedman.
Well, people in Toronto who want an NFL team or at least getting an NFL offense. You know, Chris Walby made the good point about, I don't know if we've ever seen 2 teams in the CFL go to the run as much as these two have. And the numbers individually for Ricky Williams, 49 yards rushing. For Joffrey Reynolds, 47 yards rushing, guys, as we bring you back. And Sean, right from the moment that Ricky Williams touched the ball for the first time, you guys were all saying how impressed you were with the power he was showing.
Well, I think we've definitely seen vintage Ricky Williams here. You know, when we have Jeff keeping in there running the 2-back system, Ricky got his biggest carries of the game, 11 yards, I believe, on that one carry. And this is playing into exactly what we talked about at the beginning of the game. Because the Calgary defense is structured to give up yards on the ground, we were going to need to see a big game out of Ricky Williams to be able to keep the Argos competitive. And thus far, that's what we're seeing. Ricky Williams has 9 carries for 49 yards on the ground, 4 pass receptions for 17. So he's been doing his job. Just need to see the rest of the Argos get in on the act.
Darren?
Well, I'm just frustrated by the Argo offense. Yeah, Ricky's run the ball fairly well with his 49 yards in the first half, but when it comes to second down converting, whether it's 2nd and 5, 2nd and 10, they're not throwing the passes far enough upfield to pick up the first downs. These swing passes and balls that are completed at 5 yards, that's great, it's a completion, but you need first downs to move the football and score points.
And the Calgary Stampeders have done a great job, Elliot, at taking Arland Bruce out of the game. He only has 1 catch in the first half, and that is the engine that gets Toronto's offense moving.
All right, also, Greg, meanwhile, Argonauts are kind of doing the same thing to Calgary that Calgary is doing to them defensively.
Well, Tom Higgins mentioned that going into halftime is that this game's going to come down to who scores touchdowns first. Hats off to Sandro DeAngelis, because if you look at the first half, it looks like being a 12-1 score that Calgary has dominated the first half, but Sandro DeAngelis is kicking field goals from around midfield, and that is a victory for a defense. If you're holding a team to kicking midfield field goals, then that is a victory, and if they're going to keep holding them to field goals, you know what? It's always got a chance for the Toronto offense to get right back into this game.
But Greg, we've seen this with the Calgary Stampeders before, where they've been held in the first half to field goals, and all of a sudden in the second half they explode for profusion of touchdowns. I think that you can only give up the yards for so long before something's got to give, and I think we're going to start seeing some touchdowns.
Toronto's
being
defense
scored.
does a great job of making adjustments at halftime. They have, in the last 4 games, not given up a fourth quarter touchdown.
Darren?
Well, I just think the field goals are huge and 12 points are huge because the Argos have scored 12 points in the last 6 quarters. That's 2 points per quarter, so these 4 field goals are going to hold up.
You know what, Burris looks a bit confused too at times, Darren. You were really talking him up before the game. What do you see tonight?
Well, I just think the Argos in general defensively do a great job of defending the pass, and I knew Burris is going to have trouble throwing the ball against the Argos. So you have to run the ball well, and the fact that DeAngelis has converted those field goals is huge because you're not going to score a lot of points against the Argos. What you can do is shut down that offense.
And what you notice there, Darren, is very accurate. The Argos are actually the #1 defense in the league versus the pass right now, and I think that's what Burris is struggling against.
Reynolds in the first half, any opinions on him, Greg?
Well, he's a fantastic back. You know, these 2 backs are very similar in regards to their attributes, but you're seeing a strong center of gravity, like I said, bouncing off of tacklers. I mean, he's just able to continue to push that pile forwards, and both of them are showing extremely well.
And Reynolds is being the mirror image of what Ricky Williams is for the Toronto Argonauts right now. Ricky Williams is punching through the Stampeders defense. Similarly, Reynolds is punching through the Toronto Argonauts defense, and I think that we're going to see some more of that come the second half.
All right, last question for you, Darren. Does Reynolds have 133 yards in the second half?
How many does he need to get to 180? I don't know. This goes into triple overtime. I think 180, no problem.
All right, we're going to take a break. The offensive superstar in the first half, no question who it's been. Sandro DeAngelis dedicated his 51-yard field goal to his mother, who had her birthday yesterday. Happy birthday, Mom.
It won't be me who pays. The Departed, a Martin Scorsese picture, starts October 6th.
The CFL on CBC. Brought to you by Subway Restaurants. Subway. Eat fresh. And by Dodge and their retailers. Grab life by the horn. Back in Calgary, the sun setting over the foothills and a low-scoring first half of football. The home team up 12-1 on 4 Sandro DeAngelis field goals. The real story for the Argos, I know they've gone to this conservative offense, really relying on their defense and special teams, but they haven't scored an offensive touchdown now in something like 6 quarters. I think their last touchdown was 2 games back when Byron Parker intercepted a ball in Hamilton and ran it back.
You know, and I'm a little surprised with Toronto, the fact that they're running the ball so much, and yet they're not using play action at all, because I think if they employed play action, they have an ability to at least go downfield and maybe get Tony Miles and R.J. Soward and Arlen Bruce back in his football game, because right now, I mean, Damon Allen, great numbers, 8 for 11, but only 58 yards. not going to do it.
It's a pretty talented receivers like Tony Miles and R.J. Sauer not being involved in this football game. Just about ready to start the third quarter here. Right now, let's go to the sidelines, and here's Steve with the pinball.
The Argos defense did a pretty good job in shutting down the Stampeders offense, but Michael, what about your own offense? Any concerns?
You know, we had trouble scoring points. We got to learn how to score points. Had a great job down the field where we run the ball. We've tried to become a little bit more patient with the run, and we've got good production on first down. We've gotten ourselves in second and medium, but we haven't converted on second medium. So we have to convert on second and medium, and I think we have to take a few more chances on first down.
Quick thought on the play of Ricky Williams.
Ricky's been solid. He did some real good things in the first half. Looks like he's getting his legs back under him. We have to find a way to score points, though. That's the key.
Thanks, Pinball. Good luck in the second half.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Mark, Chris, up to you.
Steve, the Argo defense believes that if it holds its opponents to 20 points, they can win the football game, expecting the offense to score at least a couple of touchdowns, throw in a couple of field goals. So that's the tall order for the second half.
Well, if you want to throw stats out, Mark, I'll throw one at you.
All right.
Every time that Kobe Reinhardt intercepts a football, Calgary's undefeated. He just got an interception to close the first half.
So let's go home right now.
Hey, let's close up.
Sandro DeAngelis, the star of the first half, with 4 long-range field goals. 4 for 4 and a 12-1 Calgary lead as he puts the ball in the air and kicks off this second half of football. Bashar Livingston ran back 2 kicks for touchdowns the last time the Argos played this team. Fumbles the football as he runs into traffic near the 35-yard line. It's Calgary football as they sort out that Donnybrook at the Argo bench.
How about a big cheer, too, for Nathan, the Jets?
Well, as you see, he's trying to make something happen. The ball gets punched out. As the ball gets punched out, it's recovered. Now, that was a great replay. Ron Johnson, who punched the ball out, recovers it. And I thought, well, in a scrum like that, you might have saw a challenge, but with the evidence of that great replay, it showed that the ball came loose. It was punched out before he was down, so therefore it was a fumble. But
now they're giving the ball back to the Argos after originally indicating Calgary football. The Argos will maintain possession. That's interesting. Play action. Speaking of play action, there's the big roll, and Damon Allen throwing deep for Tony Miles. He's open, but out of bounds. Incomplete, and 2 flags back downfield on the play.
Well, I think the officials fooled everybody because they signaled Calgary ball, and the defenders, Chapman of the Stampeders and his other defensive back teammate, were on the sidelines, and they ran out late. They didn't think that they were on defense. You can hear the bench.
Illegal substitution, Calgary, 10-yard penalty. It's first down.
Well, that's exactly what Higgins is saying, Mark, because of the fact they called Calgary ball, the defense came off, or the cover guys on defense. That's what he's all upset about.
I'd like to see that fumble again by Livingston, although there is word down low that one of the Argos was at the bottom of the pile.
That'd be the only way that it would be reversed.
Allen in the pocket. Again, a short, high-percentage pass to Ricky Williams. A straight arm, and he's hammered and fumbles the football. Hit from behind. Stampeders say they've got it.
It was loose.
It's the second Argo fumble on this opening series, and the indication is Argo ball. Second down.
Well, that's 2 times they got what's known as the Argo bounce. But a great example of staying with the ball. Demetrius Maxey from the backside, hustling, stripping the ball.
Williams was the ball carrier.
But again, recovered by the Argonauts. Here's their first punt. You see it's punched out by Ron Johnson. It looks initially, but you can see there's the ball right there, and it is indeed recovered by the Argonauts.
Johnson pulled it out from underneath Livingston. And now a challenge has been thrown by the Calgary coach, Tom Higgins. It looked like the ball went right into Trey Young.
They recovered the fumble.
There's the announcement from Bud Steen that the challenge of the fumble is underway by Calgary.
Let's take a look again. Nice stiff arm on Koba. Look at Maxi as he strips that ball. Cornelius Anthony almost comes up with it. Now we got to find it.
Can't see anything conclusive in that shot.
Thinking of building a new home? Then visit CardellHomes.com or the Cardell Sales Center today. Prime lots available in 10 Calgary communities. Cardell Homes.
Boy, those are tough replays to see.
Stampeders.
Ball right back into the hands of Ricky. Watch this.
Boy, almost an interception. Fumble recovery by Anthony. Excuse me, and then of course
Anthony had it for a moment, couldn't bring it in.
You're right, though, Mark. Good eyes. It is. Looks like initially like he had a shot at it, but I think it's the guy beside him that's got the ball, but it may very well indeed be Ricky.
Anthony had a chance, then Trey Young.
There is no evidence on review to support the Calgary challenge. The play on the field is called as correct. Second down, Toronto.
The Argos recover a second fumble on this opening series for them.
Remember that for a challenge to be successful, the evidence has to be conclusive. We had a hard time with the video replays to pick that out. Therefore, the call will stand.
Michael Bishop into the game at quarterback on 2nd and 2. Short yardage situation, double tight end formation, and Bishop up the middle.
Michael Bishop in at quarterback for the Sneaks.
And we'll wait till they sort out this pile. Very close to the first down. The marker is just shy of center field. And Brian Clark is saying they didn't get it. Check the spot. And it does indeed look like they'll be shy. Another third down situation for Toronto.
I think they're going to come up just a little short. They had to get just about to the center field mark.
Yard short.
Yeah, good. Half yard to yard short. Well, that's a good yard.
It will be third down, Argonauts.
Pinball calls his backup quarterback, Michael Bishop, to the sidelines as the Argo offense stays on the field. Another third down gamble. Remember the last time Bishop drew the Stampeder defensive line offside on a quick count fake. Third and about a yard at midfield for the Argos. High formation backfield. Here comes Bishop. And he'll have the first down as he drives across center field. And again, it's rough in that scrum. But look at the spot. Shy of that midfield stripe. And that's where the first down marker is. This is going to be very close. And they'll have to bring the sticks again, I think.
Well, again, this time Michael Bishop, who drew the defense offside before on a quick count, decides to go on the quick count. The indication is a first down.
Yep, they're not going to measure. It is a first down, Toronto, by inches.
Well, just walks up to the line, go, first sound. The advantage should always be to the offense as they know the snap count.
The umpire, Bob Redikoff, had a good look at that drive and got a spot that gave the Argos the first down by inches. At midfield. Allen back to pass across the middle to Brian Crawford. Gets a good block from Tony Miles on Scott Coe and frees the fullback for a big first down on his first offensive catch of the game.
Well, Tony Miles, who does not have a catch, although he dropped the pass in the second quarter, more than makes up for it with his effort here on blocking on Scott Coe. Look at that nice job of blocking him, allowing Crawford to get to the outside and pick up a first down. Working together.
You're the winner. Report to the administration office.
Queens grad with a gain of 18. Handoff to the short side. Ricky Williams with a straight arm and brought down on the play by Cornelius Anthony. But Ricky Williams running very effectively here this evening as we check his rushing so far.
Well, you can see most of the thing. This evidence is right here. Is it? He is a power back, and he's going to go right up the middle. But we've seen him make some nice cuts, which is something we haven't seen earlier on from rookie Williams. Got a nice block on that play by the center, Chad Folk, to spring him to the outside.
Bishop again on 2nd and 1, and he'll sneak it for the first down. So the Argos eating up time again and using the ground game and some nice throws out of the backfield to move the football. Let's check Damon Allen's pass distribution.
Well, you see, it's not much and there's nothing. Here's the thing. They have not gone deep at all. It's all underneath, and Darren Flutie hit that at halftime, talking about the fact that he's taken the save patterns, but he's got to start going and stretching that defense.
What is this, the Mutual Admiration Society tonight? Panel buffing you, now you're buffing the panel.
Well, that'll change. It's only my first week back.
First down, Argos at the 25 of Calgary. Allen out of the backfield. Williams drops it, picks it up. They're going to rule it incomplete. What looked like third fumble of this Argo drive, and it's incomplete. Big ball. Light and happy on the Argo sidelines.
Well, good protection. And again, Damon Allen just happy, and it almost looked like Ricky Williams had possession of that football, and a nice job by him to take no chances.
That looked like a sure first down play. It's 2nd and 10 now. Keith Stokes checks into the game now. It's slot back, wide side. Damon Allen, flush from the pocket by Chapman, gets it away. And to the near sideline, far sideline rather. And not much gain at all as Jeff Johnson makes the catch just across the line of scrimmage. And no gain on the play.
And Jermaine Chapman, who came on the blitz, just found out firsthand how elusive Damon Allen can be. Just going to come in for the backside again, takes the inside route, or the rush if you would, and that allows Damon Allen to get to the outside. The best thing you want to do is force him back inside.
So another offensive drive stalls. No gain on the play. And a 32-yard field goal attempt by Noel Prefontaine. And after missing in the first half, Prefontaine has his first field goal of the game and a 12-4 Calgary lead.
Stampeders leading 12-4, 9:54 to play in the third quarter. With me now, Jim Barker of the Stampeders. Jim, headlines in Montreal this week that Don Matthews might be on his way out as the coach of the Alouettes. You were headed for Montreal. Can you comment on the story?
It was very irresponsible journalism. It's very disrespectful. Coach Matthews has taught me more about this game than anybody else around, and it was unfortunate, and I don't know where it started, it just absolutely was irresponsible.
Is your situation here secure?
I love my situation here. I don't want to go back on the sideline. I'm loving what I'm doing, and that's that's just where it's at. It's a no story.
Thank you, Jim. Appreciate this. You may have cleared the air a bit.
Well, it's no story. I have too much respect, and like I say, I have no desire right now to go back to the sideline.
Mark?
Thank you, Steve. Steve Armitage at the denial desk tonight. And the denials all around Montreal. Jim Pop as well saying the same thing. But it was a front page story in the Montreal Gazette written by Herb Zurkowski that created all kinds of stir. Bunch formation for Calgary on 2nd and 3. Henry Burris, lots of time across the middle, and Copeland has the football. And Clifford Ivory was draped all over him. They're not going to spot it. The Argos say he didn't make the catch. They're ruling it incomplete. Burris and Copeland are upset.
Well, Burris is saying it's a catch. Copeland obviously is going to say it's a catch.
Well, the way things are going, they're all desperate for a catch.
The interesting thing is they've got a bunch formation to the left of your screen, and they've ran the ball both times they were in this formation before. This time they throw out of it.
Looked like it squirted out.
Looks like it squirted out just at the last second. Copeland going down to try and catch that ball.
So the frustrations that plagued Henry Burris in that first half continue here to start the second, and Burkdales will punt. Keith Stokes, the man who was in trade rumors last couple of weeks with BC is the lone man back for the Argos. And Burkdale's trying to angle it to the far side away from Stokes, and it bounces out of bounds at the 26-yard line. A 42-yard punt and no return.
Dominate on 3. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Dominate.
The rematch, the Argos and Stamps, next Saturday night, the CFL on CBC from the Rogers Centre in Toronto. Ricky Williams with the lion's share of the load here tonight for the Argo offense, and he gets the call again on first down, and he is stopped for a loss. And it's John Grace playing himself back into the good favors of this Calgary coaching staff tonight.
Well, when you got speed, you can come behind a block and make the play, and that's exactly what John Grace does. Here he is here. Now watch him come around. He comes underneath the block. Normally, as a coach, you're told take the block, force the back inside. His speed allows him to run around that block and make the play.
And a loss of 2 on the play, on the tackle for a loss by John Grace. 2nd and 12. Tony Miles alone on the short side. Allen escapes the rush. Now he'll run. Look at the daylight. Damon Allen sliding across the 35. Thinking better of trying to run past Trey Young. And a big first down.
Well, 4 receivers to one side. Single receiver to the short side, and just opened up. It parted like the Red Sea. Man-to-man coverage, nothing to find. He bounces outside. He's got nothing but open space in front of him. Just pulls the ball down, and wisely, as you said, Mark, slides down before contact by Trey Young.
It's a 20-yard gain, Chris, and a first down at the 45. That's the biggest gain by the Argo offense so far tonight. Allen in the pocket, sacked. Raheem Abdullah, the sack leader for the Stamp defense with his 8th of the season.
Well, he's been coming close on special teams as well on defensive line, and here he is up at the top. He's just going to be working against big Bernard Williams. He just comes back inside and doesn't allow Damon Allen any time to look downfield. 8th sack of the season for Raheem Abdullah.
Back in the starting lineup after missing a game with injury. 2nd and 14. 4-man Calgary rush, and there's pressure again. Allen throws it. It's tipped. And Tony Miles, the intended receiver, but Terrence Patrick got back in the play to help get a piece of it.
And I actually thought that Damon Allen was going to pull the ball down again and take off with it. Watch the opening. As he gets to the outside, look at the room he's got to run the ball, yet he tries to throw cross body to Miles. Don't force the situation, you know, Damon, just hang on that ball, pick up the first down.
You're right, he could have run for another first down on the play. Instead, the Argos will punt. Prefontaine set to deliver. Randy Rochinski with the snap. And another shank from Prefontaine, bouncing to the 30. And Howell is hit quickly. The Stampeders didn't think they got 5 yards. A 39-yard punt and just a 2-yard return for Marcus Howell. Warrior of the game, it's that time we ask you to log on to cbc.ca/CFL and cast your vote for the player who showed heart, character, and determination of a Warrior. Joffrey Reynolds certainly getting consideration for Calgary, along with Ricky Williams, the 2 big Texans battling on the ground. How about the kicker, too, DeAngelis? And the Stampeders go back on the ground on first down.
Number 78, Jeff Keeping.
We look at Joffrey Reynolds' rushing attack so far in this game.
Well, very similar. It almost looks like a carbon copy of what we saw from Ricky Williams, and the majority of the yards, again, is up the middle. Just doing a nice job. Both of them 9 carries in the first half.
Gain of 5, 2nd and 5 for Calgary. 4 receivers to the wide side. Burris with a dump pass to Joffrey Reynolds out of the backfield. Breaking tackles now at midfield. Cuts outside. He's at full speed. Gets past the Argo corner. Still downfield and caught from behind by Eric England at the 10-yard line.
Mark, 2 things. 1, great hustle by Eric England. 2, what a nice job of Taylor Robertson, the right guard of the Stampeders, to get out and just get in the way of the defender, and that initially springs Joffrey Reynolds.
62 yards.
There he is. Take a look. That's a nice jump, just getting in the way by Robertson. That springs Reynolds. He breaks. He gets nice tackle by blocking by Thurman downfield, working against Younger. But look at Eric England all the way down there. Good hustle.
62 yards, Chris, his longest reception of the season, and more yards in that play than he's had running the ball all game. Play action, another flat pass. Here's Wes Cates now out of the backfield, beats a tackle and hustles to the 1. Orlando Steinauer came up to fill from the safety position and couldn't stop Wes Cates. And this is the diversity that Calgary has.
Well, and surprisingly, that's the first time we've talked about Wes Cates today. He's really been an important cog in this offense for the Stampeders. 1-2 punch. Reynolds and Cates. Haven't seen much of Cates, seen a lot of Reynolds, but the youngster gets it down to the 1-yard line.
Out of California, being touted as a Rookie of the Year candidate by the Stampeders staff. They'll spot the ball just across the 2. 1st and goal from the 2. The handoff to Reynolds, and he's slammed in the backfield and gets back just across the line of scrimmage. The big DN, Jonathan Brown. And a measurement here.
Boy, great penetration by Jonathan Brown, the defensive end, to slice in there. And he's just going to come right in here. Now look as he beats the block and he meets Reynolds just as he gets the ball. If you cut that guy off, it's a touchdown. You cannot let penetration inside from an outside defensive end.
So 3rd and inches, and the Stamps can still get a 1st down before crossing the goal line. 3rd down gamble at the 1-yard line for Tom Higgins. Calgary Stampeders looking for the game's 1st touchdown here late in the 3rd quarter. Double tight and bunch formation. Burris, quarterback sneak to the end zone. No signal yet.
Oh, this is going to be close, Mark.
And they'll measure again.
That was a great call by you, and the fact that you said they could still pick up a 1st down, so the touchdown was, as much as they'd like to have gotten that, the 1st down is just as crucial.
And we will get another measurement here. Look at the ball, about the length of a football from the goal line.
Well, we talked about the toughness of this Argo defense versus the pass. They're doing a nice job of showing they're pretty tough against the run down here as well.
It is a 1st down. 1st and goal now for the Stampeders against an Argo defense that allowed just 2 touchdowns in the last 5 games offensively.
Well, he just tucks the ball down, gets behind the center, Comiskey, McNeil, and Robertson, and picks up the 1st down.
So the Argos dig in. They'll move the ball to the 1 on 1st and goal. Noah Cantor, the weekend warrior, in on the D-line. Handoff, Joffrey Reynolds! Touchdown! The Stamps stuff it into the end zone. Joffrey Reynolds, 6th touchdown of the season.
And just off the right side behind Robertson, Tyler Lynham create a little opening, and they all also lined up the backs. Leslie was there.
The point after by Sandro DeAngelis is good, and Joffrey Reynolds hits the end zone 1st tonight. Joffrey Reynolds punching it in from the 1.
Well, it's a nice job, and here's the two backs. Look at the two backs. Here's Cates and Leslie. But I want you to watch the center as he pulls around. What a great job by Comiskey. The lead blocks by the two up backs. Look at 50. That's Jay McNeil, excuse me. He gets around from the backside guard. It's a beautiful job of moving all the way around to secure a lane for Reynolds to score.
You know, Reynolds was a redshirt freshman at Houston when Ricky Williams won the Heisman in '98 at Texas. Grew up admiring him in high school and in college, and is hoping to meet Ricky Williams here tonight. The NFL superstar, as Stokes takes this kickoff and is strung out along the 25 and is going nowhere. But so far tonight, it's Joffrey Reynolds upstaging the famous Ricky Williams. The two Texans running tonight.
Well, I think up to that big play, it pretty much was even match. Then Reynolds got the big play. He's pulled ahead in this race right now.
Well, let's look at that running back matchup. Yes, along the ground, pretty close, but you're right, that 62-yard gain has tipped the scales in favor of Joffrey Reynolds, the University of Houston graduate. Said back in the day in Texas, they called Ricky Little Earl Campbell. The way he ran reminded a lot of people of the great Earl Campbell of the Houston Oilers. Damon Allen with a flag on the play, escapes pressure, and makes a completion to Keith Stokes. It is a first down catch, but this might be coming back.
It's coming back. Raheem Abdullah makes a beautiful inside move.
Holding. Toronto 65. It's 10-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
He's working against Jerome Davis, and he moves inside and just gets tackled. Now watch, here he is right here. Watch the inside move. Fake stutter step outside and come back inside with a swim. Davis has nothing left to do but tackle him. Good call by the official.
And really a good play by the line because they got to protect Davis.
There's good times to hold, but it hurts when you get a nice completion.
Yeah. Allen under pressure again, a screen pass to Jeff Johnson. Johnson looking for a block and is tackled back near the original line of scrimmage at the 25. Gain of 9 on the play. 2nd and 11.
Well, usually when you're getting a lot of pressure, this is a great call. This time they try and chop or take the legs out from Abdullah, but run the screen. Get the defenders up the field, but they got such great team speed, that linebacker crew, Cornelius Anthony and company. They bring them down. It's now 2nd and still a whack.
2nd and 11 for the Argos. Motion, receivers on the move. Allen under pressure, throws it to midfield, and it's intercepted. Brian Clark with a diving catch for the Stampeders. And the Argos turn it over in their own zone. Clark with his 2nd interception of this CFL season.
And his first interception against Toronto since 2003 when he was a member of the Blue Bombers. But again, Damon Allen, awkward throwing style, throwing across his body. Mechanics are in question on that. You know you're not going to have pure accuracy, and the result, an interception by Brian Clark.
Now pressure on the Argo defense again, giving up their first touchdown here tonight on the last series. Play action, Burris throwing the corner for the end zone. Copeland, he's got it. No, they're going to wave it off. The Argos say it was incomplete, but they're marking it as a catch at the 4.
Well, Copeland taught Carter a little lesson in that corner by running him off and looking inside and then breaking it to the outside and getting some separation. Nice job of stepping in there, but look how you'll see the end result. Now you see number 3, that's a corner, that's Kahil Carter, and he just gets turned around by the inside fake by Copeland.
1st and goal, Calgary. Handoff, Joffrey Reynolds in traffic, trying to move the pile. And the Argo defense will slow him up shy of the goal line. That's the 3rd quarter.
15 minutes to go. The Calgary.
The fourth quarter is straight ahead, and this stalwart Toronto defense, which has not allowed a fourth quarter touchdown in 5 consecutive games, has that streak on the line here right now. It is 2nd and goal from the 2 for Calgary. Bunch formation again. Burris handing off. Reynolds diving. Touchdown.
Mark, big plays will come back to bite you in the backside. The turnover on the poor decision by Damon Allen, the interception as a result by Brian Clark. 29 yards later to Copeland, and 1 yard later, you got a touchdown by Reynolds, and you just mentioned it. The streak of not allowing a touchdown in the fourth quarter by the Argos is over.
Joffrey Reynolds hurtling into the air over that Toronto defensive line. And his 2nd touchdown of the game, both short yardage plunges at the goal line.
And what started off as a 12-1 halftime lead for the Stampeders has jumped out to a 26-4 lead early in the fourth quarter. And again, you just see the blocking, and this time there's your 2 up backs right here. They're just going to go and block out, and then what they're doing on that play is to keep everybody from the outside from collapsing. Nice job of Reynolds to, as you say, leap in for the touchdown.
Talked about this Argo defense. Henry Burris flashing his big smile. They've allowed an average of just 16.8 points a game, and with 26 here tonight, the Stampeders nudging them over that for sure. As Pinball Clemens grudgingly admitted yesterday, this is a litmus test for his Toronto team. All 5 wins in that streak have come against Eastern opponents, 3 of them against Hamilton. And here tonight, facing one of the strong teams in the West in Calgary.
Well, remember the one stat as well. When they win their turnover battle, Toronto was 7-0. 2 costly turnovers already.
Bashar Livingston back to his 15-yard line. Livingston is thrown out of bounds by the rookie Ron Johnson, and a flag.
61-yard kickoff. 12 yards on the return.
So there's a youngster on the field. There's no flag. Someone ran onto the field.
Here's tonight's 50-50 draw number.
And the youngster was picking up the tee for Sandro DeAngelis.
We'll take a look at that bad throw, cross body intercepted by Brian Clark. That got it all started offensively. And it finished off by the 1 yard plunge by Joffrey Reynolds, although it was aided by the 29-yard reception by Copeland to take it to the 1.
I knew I saw a flag out there. There was, in fact, a flag, and it's offside against the Stampeders. Are going to have to re-kick, moving the ball back to their 30-yard line.
Well, this gives opportunity, potential for a good return and hopefully good field position for the Argonaut offense to start with. But they've got to take advantage, Mark. We've talked about the fact they've had a 12-play drive and a 10-play drive, and all they got to show for it is 4 points.
And they're getting all of their big play athletes back from injury on the offense. They've got Ricky Williams in the backfield, Andre Talbot back, Miles Soward finally fully healthy and looking for their first touchdown in 2 games. Big deep kick, this time Livingston from his 12. Bashar Livingston upfield and hammered by Brian Clark. Oh, did he put a lick on the Argo returner? A 67-yard kickoff and a 19-yard return.
And you talked earlier about the 2 running backs being warrior candidates. Brian Clark, from the start of this game to an hour early in the fourth quarter, has really made his presence felt. Stopping, tackling Ricky Williams, the big interception, special teams.
Wes Cates shaken up on the play.
Having a great time this afternoon. Staying busy.
You see Livingston coming down, and looks like he's got a little lane, but look at 48, Brian Clark. Just close that and take him down hard.
So Brian Clark with a big tackle on special teams for the Stampeders. Next Saturday, it's football night in Canada from the Rogers Centre in Toronto. The CFL on CBC with the Stampeders and Argos in the rematch of this home-and-home series. 6:30 Eastern, 3:30 Pacific. Pre-game show underway with Elliott and the panel. First down for the Argos. at their own 32. Time running out here. Trying to mount a fourth quarter comeback. It's a screen to the backside, and Jeff Johnson is hammered. Cedric Williams, the rookie corner, with another big hit to punish the Argos.
But again, not going downfield. It's a misdirection play. What they're going to do is slide their offensive line to the right. As they slide to the right, Damon Allen's going to set up on the right and throw backside to the left. Johnson, nice job of one-handing that catch, but Cedric Williams punishing him. Damon Allen has got to start attacking this defense vertically down the field.
It's a loss of 4, Chris. 2nd and 14, Toronto in the shotgun. Allen rolling to the wide side, throwing, and Arlen Bruce was the intended receiver. The 2 DBs on him. Very tight coverage by the Stampeders. It's incomplete. Argos have to punt.
And I have to wonder, they had the big completion early in the first quarter to Andre Talbot. Nice job in double coverage, negated by a penalty. But they haven't gone back to that. I haven't seen the formation where they put 4 to 1 and maybe get Arlen Bruce on one-on-one coverage backside. Why are they not doing that?
Your guess is as good as mine.
That's always not a very good guess, but
Stampeders with that cover 4 defense, sitting back, forcing quarterbacks to read what is basically a zone coverage. And it's baffled many quarterbacks this year in the CFL. 3rd down, punt situation. Prefontaine trying to move the ball deep, and he does, forcing Marcus Howell back to the 30. Gets a good block, gets outside, down the sidelines, and there's Prefontaine again to force him out of bounds. 52-yard punt, but a 25-yard return.
Mark, I saw Fletcher down the field, and I think he was clipped at the point that Howell broke it to the outside. Let's take a look and see if we can see that. We're looking for number 2. Just as he gets in, and he's right at the top, and he was indeed hit from behind. No flag, no foul. Big return by the Stampeders. Big break for Calgary.
It was the kind of blocks we saw a lot last year that weren't called, and normally they are called this year. At midfield, good field position after the return. Joffrey Reynolds bangs into one man, busts another tackle, and a lunging Mike O'Shea helps bring him down across the Toronto 51-yard line, a gain of 7 on the play. Stamps have run the ball well tonight. Henry Burris, though, in terms of his pass distribution, this is what it looked like.
Well, he was 7 of 15 in the first half. The numbers are a lot better, and he's gone deep. He's made some things happen downfield with Copeland to get him on the 1-yard line. He's mixed it up. He hasn't just stayed with the short passing game.
2nd and 3 on the 48-yard line of the Argos. Burris hits pass short side. Elijah Thurman tries to get past the Argo quarterback Jordan Younger, and he holds him.
And what we thought that Toronto might try offensively, you see Calgary doing. Quad receivers to one side, Thurman to the short side, man coverage one-on-one. And he's got the big height advantage. If he makes Younger miss, he's going for a long run.
I was talking to Steve Barato, the offensive coordinator for Calgary, about that, and he said, you know, basically I have 10 plays, and I run them out of multi-formations, run each play maybe 4 or 5 times, but it always looks different to the defense, and it keeps them honest. Hand off, Joffrey Reynolds, breaking more, Argo tackles, fumbles the football, and Nick Lewis picks it up for Calgary, but they're going to mark the ball carrier down by contact.
Well, once again, Stampeders will put 4 receivers to the wide side and run the ball short side. Jonathan Brown has a shot at Reynolds, can't bring him down. The ball is stripped by Winters, but the officials ruling that Reynolds was down at the time.
Now it looks like they in fact called it a fumble and ruled Lewis down. Here's a hitch pass, far side. Kenyon Rambo is swung across the 20-yard line. A gain of 6 on the play, 2nd and 4, as the Stampeders now threaten to really take a commanding lead.
Well, it just seems like the steam is out of the Argo defense right now. And Henry Burris is having his way with whatever he tries to throw, whether it be a flat pass, a hitch pass, or down the field. Things are working. but it's all offset by the fact that Joffrey Reynolds is doing an excellent job running the ball.
Marcus Howell checks into the game now in a 6-receiver set for Calgary on 2nd and 4. Burris in the pocket, throws it across the middle. It's incomplete. Elijah Thurman was the intended receiver, and he was sandwiched in that linebacking corridor of the Argo defense.
Elijah Thurman did not want to catch the ball. Let's be correct. Elijah Thurman's going to come across the middle. He sees Kevin Ivan lining him up, and he does what we used to call the alligator arms. The arms are retracted and put down. He doesn't even attempt to catch this football. Just going to come around and in the inside. There he is, and he does sides, and he sees Ivan. He says, I don't want any part of that ball.
Alligator arms and a little turtle.
A little turtle, that's right.
A 26-yard field goal attempt now for Sandro DeAngelis. Good on 4 consecutive field goals from long range. This will be a chip shot for him from the left hash marks. And his kick is up and good. Splitting the uprights. DeAngelis 5 for 5 tonight at home. We invite you to log on to cbc.ca/CFL and let us know who you think is the warrior of the game, and we'll let you know right after the football game. Warrior of the game brought to you by the all-new 2007 GMC Sierra. And Joffrey Reynolds has got to be the leading go-getter so far. 82 yards on the ground, a couple of touchdowns. Ricky Williams likely gets some consideration as Keith Stokes makes a catch and dinks his way close to the 45-yard line and the first down mark.
I think you also got to look and factor in some of the Stampeder defensive players as well. We talked about Brian Clark. I think that anybody in the secondary for the Stampeders has really done a nice job of not allowing Damon to go deep vertically with the ball, forcing him to check off and go side to side.
2nd and 1. Pressure on Damon Allen. Now he heads back upfield. A flag flies as Allen gets across the 45 and the first down, but it's coming back.
Already a marker down, though, in that Argo backfield.
Well, this could be a holding call.
Holding. Toronto 65. 10-yard penalty. Repeat 2nd down.
Well, Jerome Davis with a second holding call of the game. Not happy with that. He's over on the right-hand side. There he is right there. He's working against Demetrius Maxey on this play. Not really sure about that call.
Davis had his hands full with Maxey and Abdullah. There's a flat pass out of the backfield to Keith Stokes, who's getting some work now in place of Ricky Williams, and he'll be short of the first down.
You have to be impressed with Raheem Abdullah. The effort this guy puts forth, not only rushing the pass, but recognizing the swing pass and getting out there and hustle. This is what's contagious to your teammates. Raheem Abdullah is having himself a whale of a football game.
3rd and 4, the Argos will go for it. Allen against the Calgary blitz, gets it away, it's incomplete. He had a crossing route over and under across the middle, and the ball wasn't even near the nearest Argo receiver, Arlen Bruce, as Toronto turns it over on downs. A few years ago, Raheem Abdullah suffered a heart attack and was told he would never play football again, and he's fooled everybody, and he's putting fear in everybody's hearts now.
Well, watch this. We know he's been a thorn in Damon Allen's side, rushing the quarterback. Look at the hustle from that end spot all the way over on the speedy Keith Stokes. Talked about contagious. It's a spark plug. Everybody on the defense feeds off that.
Remember when he was playing for Edmonton, they told him his career was over because of a high cholesterol problem that led to the heart attack. And he got in a fitness program and got his health situation under control and has come back to be one of the league's finest pass rushers in the CFL. And if you've just joined us, this is the game summary so far. Sandro DeAngelis with 5 field goals, several in the first half from real long range. Joffrey Reynolds, look at the offensive contribution by him tonight. The Stampeders have the game's only 2 touchdowns. And the return of Ricky Williams has produced 83 Toronto offensive yards. An offense that has been anemic through the air. 2nd and 7 for Calgary. Burris throwing across midfield, and a catch by Jermaine Copeland, and a first down for Calgary.
Great throw, threading the needle between double covers to Copeland. Ivory thought he had it, but Burris put enough zip on that. John Comiskey to center. Tom Higgins says, you know, right now is not as good as Dan, his brother, who plays for Edmonton, but he says, give him a couple years. He'll be better. Quite a compliment.
Comiskey family of Windsor, Ontario, producing some big hoggies in this league. Handoff is blown down with a flag on the play. On 1st and 10 for Calgary. Joffrey Reynolds, who was looking so forward tonight to being on the same football field as Ricky Williams.
Legal procedure. Calgary 66, 5-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
And Reynolds has certainly upstaged his more famous counterpart from Texas in Williams.
Well, I think that they've both had what I consider really good games. I've been impressed with the way that Ricky Williams has run the ball when he had his opportunity, but I agree with you.
1st and 15, staggered cadence, couldn't draw the Stamps offside, and the pass is low and incomplete. Kenyon Rambo was sitting out there on the wide side flats.
Third down, Calgary. Stampeder Football Club wants
There's
to send
Abdullah and the Pastuk and this Calgary defense, which has shut down the Toronto Argonauts here tonight, allowing them but 3 points on a field goal and a punt single. And Brian Clark, the leader of this defense.
I didn't mean what I said last week. I apologize.
Well, Brian Clark is the leader, as you say. He makes all the checks. The defensive calls on the adjustments according to what the offense is showing.
2nd and 15 for the Stamps. 3-man Toronto rush as they drop 9. Burris throwing to the wide side is complete by Rambo. Knocked out of bounds for a first down at the 10-yard line.
Well, these are precision routes because Copeland runs this perfectly. This is double. They got Steinhauer. The safety's over there. He's over top. But look where he sits. He's below. Carter's above. And who's in the middle catching the ball? The receiver. Nice job.
Gain is 16 on the catch by Rambo. And it's first down at the 10-yard line. Argos stacking the line of scrimmage now. Bring the blitz, flat pass, Jermaine Copeland. Heading upfield, reaching for the 5-yard line. And he's tackled quickly.
Well, recognizing the coverage one-on-one, trying to get the ball quickly in a hitch pass. If Copeland can shake the tackle by Clifford Ivory, he can go into the end zone, but Ivory, nice job of bringing him down.
Gain of 4 on the play. 2nd down from the 6-yard line of the Toronto Argonauts. And the Stamps can get a first down before going into the end zone. Here comes the blitz against Burris. Now he's throwing to the end zone, and it's intercepted. Kenny Wheaton with a diving pick to stop the Stampeders.
Well, Toronto with its league-leading 25th interception, probably the only positive of this game for them. But as you say, Kenny Wheaton reads this, leaves his feet.
Whoa, that ball touched the field.
I thought that was a pretty nice effort.
And there is a challenge now being thrown by the Stampeder bench.
But good eyes, Mark. You don't need glasses, because that indeed did hit the ground. I'm all over you, man. I'll borrow your glasses.
Well, the world knows I have these glasses from the pharmacy after I lost my other
Calgary
ones.
is challenging, but the pass was incomplete.
This could well be overturned.
I think it will be overturned. I think you called it right. We saw that other angle. The ball definitely did look like it hit the ground. It was trapped by Kenny Wheaton. Good challenge by Tom Higgins.
At this point, it is the first turnover given up by Calgary, but it is now being reviewed.
Take another look, and it looks like initially he has it.
Ball hit the turf. This will not count.
I really think that Ron Johnson really did a nice job of grabbing the inside arm and not allowing Wheaton to squeeze that ball. But it definitely looked like it hit the ground. Great replays. Again, we get to see these, Mark. The people at home don't get to see them. They don't show them on the video, or the people at home see them, but they don't show them on the Jumbotron here.
See the head coaches here, Pinball and Tom Higgins. But the interesting matchup tonight in terms of the chess game and the matching of minds has been between Steve Barato on offense for Calgary and Rich Stubler, the defensive coordinator for Toronto. Both, league leaders really in their field. And Barato has used again multiple formations, misdirection plays to keep Toronto's veteran defense off balance, and has produced 29 points so far.
Well, we've seen, we've got 50 little time left on the challenge, but we've seen the bunch formation. We talked about that. One time they throw out of it, the next time they run weak side on it. It's all called key breakers. You mentioned it earlier. 10 plays, different variations, exactly what it is.
On review, the pass was incomplete. It becomes third down. Third down, Calgary.
So no turnover by the Argos. Pinball accepting the reversal, and it'll be third down, Calgary.
What a great call by you. I won't be arguing with you anymore.
I'll tell you, I don't know what to do about all this flattery from the booth tonight. Well, it is your first game back after being on the injured list. 6 weeks with the knee surgery. And maybe next week will be a different story.
I was definitely missing you guys. So right now it's all love and kisses. Next week it's back to normal.
13-yard field goal attempt here. The 6th of the game for Sandro DeAngelis.
Casey, hold your water.
DeAngelis splits the uprights. His 6th field goal of the game to tie his season best. Back at McMahon Stadium in Calgary, the Stampeders with a 32-4 lead over Pinball Clemens and the Argos, who have been unable to mount any offense tonight. There's Damon Allen under pressure from Anthony, throws it away, gets it complete. No, it's stripped from Jeff Johnson, who had it momentarily and then lost it. And once again, look who's in the vicinity. John Grace, who's had a terrific night on defense for Calgary.
Well, all these linebackers have really been around the ball, especially this man, 48, Brian Clark. Going to come on the blitz, continues to work. Nice job of pulling up at the end, not following through on a hit with Damon Allen. But as you say, John Grace, Cornelius Anthony, Scott Cole, all over the field today.
Allen on 2nd and 10 in the pocket. He's got time. Can't find a receiver. Now throws deep. And coming back to the ball, it's a completion to Arlen Bruce with a flag on the play. There is a flag down as Bruce made a tremendous effort to come back and make that 20-yard catch. The Argos' best weapon on offense hasn't been used much tonight.
Well, you see a sign of frustration as Arlen Bruce slams that ball down on the turf after making the catch.
Illegal contact. Calgary 26. Penalty is declined. First down.
France Clemens getting the penalty for Calgary. 20-yard gain. The Argos will decline it and have first down at midfield.
I believe that might be the longest gain passing. I believe it was 18 yards to Brian Crawford in the first half. Now that's 20, so the longest gain by Damon Allen this evening.
Adam Rita, the Argo GM, and the interim offensive coordinator, frustrated tonight. There's Stokes with a high percentage catch, and he hustles right to the first down marker at the 45. 3:20 and counting. Carpenter and Rita discuss what's happened tonight. An offense that has been unable to score a touchdown now in 2 games.
And they came out running the ball very effectively. And then we thought that they would start doing a little play action. They've only used play action a couple of times.
Allen handing off to Jeff Johnson, and Johnson fights his way upfield for a gain of 3 and a Toronto first down. The 3-minute warning has been given to the benches with 2:54 to go in the football game.
like to wish long-time Stamp
2:54 to go in this football game as Allen calls the next play on first down for Toronto. He's got that right finger bandaged, the middle finger he broke on the third play of the very first series of the season, and it's been giving him difficulty. No doubt he still feels pain and will have to have another operation when the season's over. Allen in trouble. Now he'll run, diving forward on first down.
Well, he's diving forward, but I believe, again, it's the guy we've mentioned all day, Raheem Abdullah, who hops over the block, this time working against Bernard Williams, and comes around the horn and grabs the ankle of Damon Allen. Let's take a look at that. He's going to come from the bottom, and you see the cut block attempted by Bernard Williams, and he just grabs that ankle. Great hustle by Abdullah.
2nd and 4. Allen throwing back downfield deep. Bruce is open. Touchdown, Toronto. And the Argo offense finally finds the end zone on a 37-yard pass from Allen to Bruce. And it's a little late.
Little late. May have caught the Stampeder secondary sleeping. A little comfort zone right there. But I love the fact that he at least goes downfield vertically. Something to build on. Something to look at for the rematch next week.
37-yard completion, really the first bomb he's completed tonight. The next longest completion was 20 yards. But Arlen Bruce has the touchdown, the only Argo touchdown of the game, and his 6th of the season. Point after from Prefontaine is good. The Argos have something to celebrate here late. Arlen Bruce frustrated more than anything else, even after catching that touchdown pass.
Well, he's a confident receiver, Mark, and he believes that nobody can cover him one-on-one. We're going to take a look at the last play. Good protection. He just runs away. Chapman slips on the coverage. He gets behind him. It's an easy touchdown. Watch him spike the ball, but he walked over. We saw him talking to the coach, and he just said, I don't want to talk. He believes he's open, and he needs the ball thrown to him a little bit more than it was this afternoon.
Yeah, the coaches had to calm him down a little bit. You know, he plays the game like a prize fighter. Very proud. Hands team is in for the Argos, but they'll kick it deep to J.R. Ruffin at the 10. Ruffin now up the numbers, gets a block, cuts to the wide side of the field. Now he's got an escort. J.R. Ruffin looking for his second kick return of the year for a touchdown, stumbling at the 20.
Mark, great special teams. We haven't really talked about them today. Craig Dickinson does an excellent job with the Stampeder special teams unit. J.R. Ruffin, as you say, has broke one already for a touchdown earlier this year. Look at him set up the blocks. A little hesitation. Then he breaks it across field. Guys are hustling. Nick Lewis is out there getting a block. Everybody's working to try and spring Ruffin.
Chris, 81 yards on the return by J.R. Ruffin. Craig Dickinson, the special teams guru. Remember, last year it was Livingston returning 2 for touchdowns for the Argos, and this year the tables have turned in special teams as Danny McManus comes into the game to mop up for Henry Burris, pitching to Wes Cates. Cates diving across the 15-yard line. McManus suffering from back spasms earlier this week in practice, had to leave, and the third stringer David Corley came in to do the second string work, but Mac managed to survive the back spasms and in uniform tonight.
Well, we take a look at Henry Burris' number for the evening, 16-28. No touchdowns, no interceptions. Did a nice job of moving the football around, though. It was interesting as you talk about Danny Mac. He said he was just doing easy ups, just little light throws, and his back seized. And all his teammates said, you know you're old when you start pulling your back, just doing easy ups.
Handoff to the goal line. Wes Cates is pushed out of bounds at the 1-yard line. Getting some touches here late for Joffrey Reynolds, the rookie Wes Cates out of California.
I also thought it was funny when Danny was talking about the fact that he came in to mop up last week against Winnipeg, and he said he just wanted to hand the ball off. I don't want to get hit.
Wes Cates on the field. Joffrey Reynolds on the sidelines. 2 touchdowns tonight. More than 160 yards of offense from the Houston grad, and a big smile indeed.
Making a good case for outstanding player nominee from Calgary.
First and goal from the 1. It's Wes Cates carrying. Touchdown. Wes Cates with his second CFL touchdown here in the late going. The running back stealing the show tonight for Calgary.
Well, after Arlen Bruce gives a little life to the Argos with a 37-yard touchdown, J.R. Ruffin on a huge return. 81 yards later, they got great field position, and they've ended up by punching in 1 yard over by Wes Cates. They're rolling all cylinders, the Stampeders.
DeAngelis with the point after, and it's a rout here tonight in Cowtown. Wes Cates with his second touchdown, continuing to make a case for Rookie of the Year in the West here.
Well, there's nothing fancy. It's just straight ahead blocking. He's going to come over here, and there's the back, and he's just going to take it up. Got a helmet on a helmet. Nothing fancy. He's just going to come right back inside to the mass of humanity and break the goal line for a second touchdown of the season.
This Argo defense, which hadn't allowed a fourth quarter touchdown in 5 consecutive games, has given up 3 here tonight. Keith Stokes and Arlen Bruce are back to return this squib kick, and it doesn't get to them as the Argos rumble it back across the 50-yard line. Time to check your Corona game notes as far as the Argos are concerned.
Well, I mean, looking at the score, I'm sure these are going to be quite good. Diversify your assets. We talked about getting everybody involved. Williams was involved in 16 of the 52 plays. They didn't go deep enough, didn't go vertical enough. Arlen Bruce, Tony Miles was a disappearing act. Defense, D is for domination. We talked about no touchdowns in 10 quarters. They've allowed 3 in this fourth quarter alone.
For the Argos at quarterback, it's Michael Bishop now.
Not pretty.
Number 17.
As far as the Argos are concerned, here's Michael Bishop now getting some late action, and his pass is incomplete, in and out of the hands of Michael Palmer, who had a couple of great catches last game to set up the game-winning field goal by Prefontaine. Now, Corona game notes for the Calgary Stampeders.
Well, we did say this, Reynolds must rumble if you want to run play action and get your passing game going. 151 yards offense, 2 touchdowns. Really had a whale of a game. On defense, play the game in front of you. Don't get beat deep. They did a great job of not allowing anything to beat them deep, except for early in the fourth quarter, that Arlen Bruce touchdown.
Bishop again in the pocket. High jump ball caught by Tony Miles, and that's his first catch of the football game, again illustrating the illnesses on this Argo offense and not being able to get their big players into the game. And Denny Crean has had a say in that, I guess, on the defensive side of the ball. The defensive coordinator made some big changes at midseason, dropping linebacker George White. Andre Talbot now with a catch on the wide side. He's wrestled down close to a first down as the Stampeders back off in that prevent defense.
Well, round 1 goes to Denny Crehan. Round 2 next week. How about DeAngelis, though? 6 for 6 today of field goals. 11 for his last 11. He kicked 5 for 5 last week. Is this a candidate for maybe Canadian of the year? What an outstanding year.
Incomplete pass in and out of the hands. A high pass to Tony Miles, and he's hammered by J.R. Ruffin. Joffrey Reynolds is the CFL rushing leader, surpassing Charles Roberts and adding to his margin here tonight, and upstaging the man he has admired in his football career, NFLer Ricky Williams, back in action after missing 8 weeks with that broken arm.
We must say that we have seen vintage Ricky. He has run hard tonight when he has run the football. That's the positive sign for that offense if they want to run the ball. He ran hard. I think the concerns are they're not throwing the ball very well.
That's the problem, as Damon Allen struggled through the air for the second consecutive game, going back to that 11-9 win over the Tiger Cats, and his numbers very low. 172.
Dare I ask, does he miss Ken Austin?
That's a question. Bishop rolling now under pressure. Throws to Talbot. He has the catch for a first down. And that is a good question, because even Pinball was saying yesterday that Ken Austin changed Damon as a quarterback after the age of 40, made him a better quarterback at reading, and now calling his own plays, he's better at doing that as well.
Remember this too, this offense at the end was averaging 31 points a game. Damon Allen was most outstanding player in the league last year. How has the wheels fallen off this cart so fast the last 2 weeks?
Well, it's a difference in philosophy too, because Ken Austin didn't want to run the ball as much as Adam Rita and the Argos did. And that was mainly the reason. There's a corner pass to Arlen Bruce. He's wide open. Touchdown. Arlen Bruce with back-to-back touchdowns.
Well, he just turned the defenders around. That's the second time. He's working against, I believe it was Ruffin or Williams taking another look. He's so wide open. I saw two guys chasing him.
There's some shadows there in the picture. Arlen Bruce with a 25-yard scoring catch. And academic for him and the Argos in the final minute of this football game. And Michael Bishop with his second touchdown pass. His short term with the Argos, and there's some bad blood late going here as Abdullah is shepherded away from confrontation.
Well, Michael Bishop has got a strong arm. Got to give the offense credit for staying in the game. Good job of providing protection. Nice rainbow arc pass. But the thing you don't see is how badly Arlen Bruce beat Ruffin and Young to the inside. As he broke it to the outside of the end zone, he was wide open.
Well, Pinball and Bruce talking strategy. The Argos already thinking ahead to next week and the rematch back at the Rogers Center. And a lot of talk here too that the Argos were getting Ricky Williams involved and maybe bringing back John Avery next week and having both Williams and Avery in the backfield at the same time as the Stampeder quarterbacks enjoy a few laughs.
Well, 39 seconds left. We'll take a look at Ricky Williams.
Another squib kick. And J.R. Ruffin, so dangerous on that 81-yard return, high stepping his way and tackled across the 40-yard line.
16 yards on the return.
Ruffin with a big 81-yard return tonight. Both teams meeting again 1 week from now. And he's getting a lecture from Denny Crean.
Well, letting up. Don't be fooled by the route. 2 times Arlen Bruce has run the same out and up. Broke it back to the outside and being wide open, and that's exactly what Denny Crean is voicing his displeasure to him.
It's a great point. I mean, they did really get sloppy in the last couple of minutes of this game in the secondary after shutting down Damon Allen.
For the majority of the game, they kept everything in front of them. And at the end of the game, they got sloppy, but got to give credit to Arlen Bruce. Ran a great route. They gave both quarterbacks time to throw the football. Allen hit him once and Bishop hit him once. Something to build on for next week.
Final seconds. Clock hits 5. And the play clock a tick to 0. Manis will let the clock tick to 0. And this will be the final play of the game. As the fireworks fly and the gun sounds, it's all over at McMahon. The Calgary Stampeders have moved into a tie for first place in the West Division with the BC Lions, who play Saskatchewan tomorrow. And the 5-game winning streak by Toronto is over. Down to the sidelines now, and here's Steve with Joffrey Reynolds.
Thank you very much, Mark. Joffrey, you stole a big part of the spotlight from that guy on the other side of the field tonight, Ricky Williams. I wonder how that makes you feel.
It just makes me feel good that, that our team was able to come out in the second half and just put some drives together. The defense, held them to virtually, really nothing until the end of the game. So that was just big for us, just to get this win and just to try to keep that push towards number one in the West.
I thought the big play for you and the Stampeders offense came in the third quarter. It looked like a sort of a harmless play, but you made a lot out of it.
Yeah, well, a little swing pass that we have a screen, which is just a glorified pitch, really. And I was able to make some people miss and had some blocks downfield, which got us down there to get our first touchdown. So again, it's just against these guys, they play good defense. They try not to let you get in the end zone, and we was able to have some big plays to get us in there.
Joffrey, what kind of message does this send to the Argos for the rematch next week?
It's just basically, we got to come with our A game. We're at their home. They're trying to stay in first place ahead of Montreal. Montreal has a big game, so we're going to have to come with our A game, because you best believe that, with Ricky Williams and Damon Allen, they're going to come with their A game next week.
Joffrey, thanks for this. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Mark?
Thank you, Steve. Joffrey Reynolds with 2 touchdowns tonight, 151 yards offense, and the Calgary Stampeders dominate the Toronto Argonauts.